there will be a frostbite and you might just get your leg snapped right off. But the operator bans are soon to come underway, with the favelas getting the very first attacker, whoever they may elect to remove from the pool. For theme park, it's got to be one of those hard breachers. I think maybe an ace or a thermite will be this initial ban, unless the favelas are going to go off script and perhaps bring something else. The Thatcher as well can be so effective. Removing the Thatcher is going to make theme park no fun to play as the attackers, and that's why I imagine the favelas will choose to remove it first. When you don't have the EMP grenades, getting walls open, especially on theme park, which has a lot of soft floors for the defenders to nitro you from, getting those walls open with the Surrey torch is hell on earth. But we won't have to worry about that because the Maverick is taken off the board.
Well, these attackers are surely going to have their work cut out for them here, as you lose your Thatcher, you lose the Maverick. Now it's up to those defensive bans. Given that the favelas do like to play a Mira, I would not be surprised if we see that taken off, because a Mira on theme park can be so strong. We are going to see the Kaid, the first ban, actually coming out. That's going to be the only way that those walls are going to be able to be opened, if you remove as much of that hard breach denial operators as possible. The Kaid off the board exactly for that reason. Now we're going over to the favelas final ban here, and it's going to be another defensive operator, and that operator is going to be that Mira. That final ban off the table. Good to see the Mira gone. We've seen a lot of Mira play today, more than I think we would usually expect to see, given that Mira is one of those operators generally viewed as one more time. We're going to get those operator picks, but I do believe they are bound to the exact same picks, so we're going to see the same lineups come out from our lovely attackers and defenders, just waiting for this push to come through. Looks like Forrest going to be teasing the Monty for now, and the Malusi from Fish, this time, hopefully, with the correct hat, or lack thereof.
Yeah, previously we saw Forrest, I think, initially begin on the Monty and then six-pick over to Hibana. That's what happens again, and he's going to do this switcheroo trick. It's testing out the keyboard. I don't know what that recipe we saw dropped in chat from, I think it was Jolton who posted that right when we were getting into the game. He's maybe perhaps a little bit hungry. Just to remind everyone, APE begins this best of 5 with a 1-map advantage because they reached the grand finals via the upper bracket. They were able to defeat all comers and nobody shut them down. In fact, I don't think APE lost a single map through their entire qualification to get here, which is a strong statement for them. But we'll have to see how the first map plays out, or I guess you could call it the second. The first map that we will be catching here in front of our eyes, theme park, the beautiful Hong Kong map, and GMZ Gomez. He's going to be on the roam. He's got the Vigil, and probably the best operator you could ask for here. DS Lucas will rotate over towards Gong as well, maybe getting a bit aggressive. Actually, I think he was chasing a drone, so maybe a blow dealt early here to APE's intel game, and you can see Forrest, he's lost one of his two.
Well, this early extended roam here from the favelas is no surprise. Gomez, DS Lucas doing what they do best, and that is a persistent extended roam to slow down this attack as much as possible. And our opening kill of the grand finals is going to be a beautiful team kill from Callout onto Melted. I do believe that is Callout's second team kill of the day, delivering that one onto Melted. So the opening pick going in the favor of the favelas in round number 1. The Nomad off the board. That's actually going to be quite an issue for this APE attack. Nomad and those air jabs can be so critical to locking off those flanks, but at the very least, Melted will be relegated to the drone duty to sit on cams for the rest of the game. Now, Callout, after team killing his teammate, he'll head up to the roof to join Jay and Yaga up here to get this pressure mounting on to this vertical play. With the bomb downstairs, they're going to have to get map control first if they want to get this pinch going. But obviously, for the favela side of things, Gomez, DS Lucas, and Fish, well, taking map control is going to be a bit harder than they're going to make it a bit harder. Gomez is going to take a lot of shots to the belly. He's going to get down about 1 HP for his troubles, but will fall back towards split. And now Fish, back on site, will be eventually joined by the wounded Gomez, who will now go back to support his teammates.
That Nomad kill very important, or the death of her, especially as you mentioned, losing the ability to lock off your flanks is very important on a map like Theme Park, where the opportunity to roam and come up big and sideline the offense is only a moment away, and it's not a map that is very difficult to get going with a roam. We'll see the X-Kairos detonate here on the barrel's wall. Forrest goes prone. He's looking deeper inside a split, or perhaps through the entirety of this bomb site. Ping comes out. Somebody spotted near the bomb chassis, but in fact, DS Lucas will escape. Good thing that wasn't Gomez, otherwise he might have taken a bit of a beating. Forrest goes down. Jolton with another kill for the Favelas, I guess you could say. They've got 2 up now. A nade coming through will be bounced off the floor. Deeper into the objective. Beastly taking a real punishing. Sitting below 25 HP. Now the Favelas have an opportunity. If they kill him and they kill Gomez, that's a bit of an opportunity and a place to work from. The Ace and the Ash dropping the hatch, and this is actually a pretty good plant location, but losing the coverage with Beastly coming in on the flank, and now Yaga down. It's likely we'll see this erupt as a flawless round, but Callout has something to say about that. He gets 2 there, make that 3 with his earlier team kill, but it's an easy post-plant defuse for Jolton, as the Favelas will lock in their success on round number 1.
Well, a clean defense from the Favelas there. They shut down that push at every turn. All the defenders eventually bunched up in the same corner of Throne Room, just hanging out together, having a quick conversation. And that conversation was something on the likes of, oh, you see those attackers coming in? Let's shoot them in the face. And that they did. The plant did go down, but it was a little bit too late for Callout. He could only find 2 kills, giving him the total 3K after that early team kill. So if I call that first round a 3K for Callout, just know I'm counting that team kill as one of his own. So we're going to round number 2 after that first successful defensive round from the Favelas. And secondary bomb site, it seems, is going to be bunk and daycare from the Favelas.
This was the site we saw them tease during the first round before switching off, instead electing to choose Throne and Armory as the initial site for their choosing. We'll see a pretty standard setup. Notable is the presence of the Mozzie, and wow, they actually fixed the Mozzie bug where it doesn't display as if he has 96 unloaded pests. Well, that's good to see, at least one positive change here in Siege. But Gomez could have a lot of impact here on the intel game. We already saw Ape played kind of sporadically. Fish will Nitro open the wall, I think missing his impacts because of that earlier game we saw the Favelas play. He had elected to bring the Nitro cell for the vertical play, and so that's a bit of a waste of utility. Callout will recognize it, and Fish acknowledges.
Well, the teams are wasting no time to go with that mid-round banter, throwing out those messages in chat and doing what these teams do best, and that is get in each other's heads. We saw that a very big factor early on in that opening, in that winner's bracket finals. Gomez tried to deliver the spawn peek, but he just missed the headshot onto the unsuspecting attacker. Now that DS Lucas has brought the Valkyrie into play, we just saw that beautiful outside camera sure to provide copious amount of information to these anchored defenders. These Favelas defenders are always looking to take advantage of some opportunities to run out of the map and look for anybody they can find, and that's what Jolton looked like he was teasing for a moment there. But you're not going to want to lose your Wamai too early. Those Wamai magnets will regen until the end of the round, and you'll get it, like 5 of them, I believe, is the number right now that you can get to place down and deny that utility. But Fish, here comes that swing, and there it goes on the reload. He'll catch Yaga just reloading that R4C. A couple more sprays coming down from Fish and actually connect with a few shots, I believe, onto the Nomad, but that's going to be a refrag from Melted, taking down Gomez, evening it out at a 4 versus 4. Now this attacking pressure still starting to mount, as now they have cash control, and Fish, having fallen back into initiation, will eventually retreat and join his teammates on the site.
Good to see that Ape are able to fight it back and keep this man advantage equal. Melted could use a little bit more health than what he's got at current, but that shouldn't delay the progress of Ape's attack too long. This rotation gives them a great angle to push in deeper for Bunk's control. A reinforcement goes down. That's pretty late in the round, I think, from the Jaeger within sight, but he bails off at the end, instead rotates over by Angel to try to contest this position. Beastly finally given an opportunity to play on the Jaeger. We haven't seen him in a fragging role so far, despite a strong performance earlier versus Ape on that Cafe game, dropping, I think, in total 12 or 13 kills. Fish stares right through and gets caught out as Melted secures the double kill. Now in combination, we'll see Jay cut down Beastly. A 4v2 as Ape are looking to secure their dominant response. A drone on the UFO, not something you get to say so often, as Jolton will still sit silently inside of Cafe, but he might look to make his impact known soon. DS Lucas walks straight into one oncoming bullet from Ape. 24 seconds remain. The execute must come soon, but DS Lucas gets Forest. A close angle for the Nomad. The gun barrel is spotted. This should be a good pre-fire for Jolton. He goes, expends the mag, and can't make the shots connect. So big here. The plant is denied, though. A 1v2 for DS Lucas to get it done. 5 seconds to go. Recovering the diffuser and protecting it has to be the game plan here. We'll see it begin just inside of the staff room door as DS Lucas goes for a ping, but it's far too old. A down onto Melted, but Jay's position isn't known, and now he rotates back to play it safe. But DS Lucas, the quad kill post plant clutch.
Oh my goodness, and then a little bit of BM to seal out the quad kill for DS Lucas. I mean, wow, what a way to bring the Favelas back from that 2-man deficit and take the round for themselves. I mean, what a brilliant performance there. A little spin action at the end to seal it off. Oh my goodness, what a clutch from DS Lucas. Really was just perfect aim, perfectly executed, peaking at the right times. I gotta think that Ape there, they did not have to give it up so easily. They had the man advantage and absolutely had it in them to take that round. But at the end of the day, it was Favelas who prevailed in those gunfights. It was Ape who gave them the opportunity, opened the door slightly, and DS Lucas was happy to come walking on in. And that's going to be 2 defensive rounds in a row. So we're going to our tertiary bomb site, or what is sometimes considered our quaternary bomb site, and that is going to be lab and storage.
Well, this is something fun. The lab defense is all about your horizontal extension, remaining in control of barrels, and also, usually armory and throne, is the most important factor to holding this site. Ideally, teams will go for what is just an east to west clear. You move in, you drone out drone out gong, maintenance, and then the area next to gong, which is tellers. And then you move slowly, sweeping through the map. You close out and clear out any roamers who may be inside of armory and throne, eventually reaching split so that you can begin your assault onto the objective. And by then, it's the defender's goal to have wasted about 1.5 minutes so that the attackers have to scramble in their executors. Another aggressive play from Fish, waiting at the door. Beastly gonna toss out a Valkyrie camera, and here comes Fish. Don't think we have any spawning over here. Oh, we actually do have 2 members. It's Forest and someone else off screen. Fish with the MP5 in hand. He goes, can he spot him? Oh, he gets it. So much damage done. And it's another aggressive roam. Gomez is looking to double down on it. What is Gomez doing? He's going to play the vertical angle, runs back inside the door. Oh my God, Forrest is just being pestered now outside of Gong.
Oh, that's brutal way to start that round off if you're Forrest. The lone Habana spawning all by her lonesome and getting absolutely penalized for another run out from Beastly will be the final blow onto the poor hard breacher. Thankfully for Ape, they still have all out. They still have those Selma charges, but they don't have the breaching hammer. Gomez finds Jay, and Fish will follow up onto Yaga. This one is going downhill so fast for Ape. C4 delivers half the health of Melted to the dirt, and there it goes, the fatal blow from Fish, the double kill. What are we witnessing right now? Call out now, running as far away from the map as humanly possible, booking it to the other side of the map. Might hop in this ice cream truck and just leave, but for now, just gonna sit here and use the last 1:30 of this round to recoup, to talk about what in the world just happened and how they can prevent that going forward in this first half.
I don't know what just happened for that round. Ape are gonna, yeah, as you mentioned, take this tactical timeout. Ty is struggling to even get the point of view on Callout. He is so far next to the edge of the map. Callout will be sitting out here. He's got the case in his pocket, but there is a lot of time to burn. So, with this short little break, we can talk about Mike and Ike's. Mike and Ike's are so good. I got the, what's the one I've opened? Mega Mix. Got 10 flavors. Quickly run through the flavors while we're going here. You've got Caribbean Punch, Strawberry Banana, Paradise Punch, Grape Soda, Kiwi Banana, not done yet, Mango Delight, Pineapple Banana, Watermelon, Peach Berry, and Blue Raspberry. Personally, I think my favorite is probably the Paradise Punch. It's the pink one. You've also got Watermelon, which is pretty good. I haven't tried the sour ones yet. I'm not too keen on sour candies, but I'll sure to be given a try. I think they're the same flavors. Actually, no, they're all sour with a few. Got an apple flavor, lemon. We've got one with a very intimidating name, Pucker Punch. Watermelon Wipeout, that one sounds kind of good. Shocking Raspberry. I like these names, they're very descriptive, but yeah, that was Favela's round and we already knew it.
Well, perfectly done there, Reese. I really enjoyed hearing all those flavors, and really the flavor brought to this round, I mean, it started at the very beginning. It was the double run out from Gomez and Fish, that wombo combo proving to be too much for Forrest to handle. The Forrest then ended up walking into the Valkyrie's bullets, and Beast delivered the fatal blow there. And after that, it all just, well, came crumbling down in really just a brutal fashion. That tactical timeout, Ape are going to use that to regroup, maybe eat up some Mike and Ike's, hope to re-energize themselves there. Maybe some Pucker Punch is what they need. But for now, it seems that the Lion is going to be coming out from Forest, and maybe this is what can turn the tides for them. Maybe they're going to change it up and go for something unorthodox, some sort of rush play, something crazy to keep their side of things a bit interesting here.
I guess Ape have been dealt a bit of a sucker punch through these first 3 rounds as far as Favelas are concerned, and this is the defender-sided nature of Theme Park that we were discussing. And that last round, I don't think really had much to do at all with Theme Park being defender-sided. That was just pure unbridled aggression from the Favelas going pretty crazy. We have that initial, very awkward circumstance between Fish, Gomez, and Callout. Or rather, I think that was Forrest, who suffered a lot of health between the two. They both ran out. It was kind of a friendly meeting going on, and you got to be careful when you go for this run out, because the floor there, as was shown previously by Gomez, is actually soft. And if there's an attacker, maybe droning into Throne, or rather Gong, waiting below, if they hop off the drone and you're still out there, you get detected, you are a goner, because they're going to look straight up above them and shoot you right through the floor with that outline. Here's another aggressive play in progress. Fish on the jump out, but it's actually baited. Oh no, and Fish realizes he is dead meat, and Callout will get that kill. Favelas punished for their aggressive behavior, and Gomez goes outside too. It's like we're playing on attack for both teams at once.
What a great way to start off this grand final. Gomez and Fish also, they baited the same run out. They went over towards that cash door and then switched it up over to control room, jumping out there. Fish's only escape would be jumped back in towards maintenance, but the escape could not be found as the headshot was delivered. So now it's going to be down a man advantage here for the Favelas. It's going to be Ape in the strong position. But it's Theme Park. It's so defensive-sided. They're going to need more than just a man advantage. They're actually going to need to get some pressure going on this site. And as far as we can tell, that pressure has yet to be seen. Jay is still on the roof, and the rest of the attackers, except for Yaga, are outside of this site. They're just waiting for the opportunities to strike. It looks like, honestly, they're a bit scared of these Favelas and their aggression that they're bringing to the table. I mean, they're competing for a lot here tonight, and they don't want that aggression to go unpunished. But this time, since that first pick went in the favor of Ape, Favelas have since backed off that pressure and have retreated onto site.
Even despite this opening kill, Ape are really moving quite slow. I'm not sure what's going on here with the Lion Scam, but if it nets melted a kill, I can hardly blame them. Here comes the Nitro. I think he ripped it just a little bit too late, and you can see Ape are real skittish to approach this wall. The Nitro flies out. Does it connect? Nope. Not even any damage dealt. The best that you can hope for here is that maybe it broke some of the utility that Callout was attempting to dedicate to opening this wall. I'm not sure what's happening just yet. It's a frag grenade launched on over with the hopes of killing Beastly, but he's rotated to safety further behind the throne on the west side of this objective.
Well, now with 30 seconds to go, FAVELAS down 2. This pressure still needs to actually go onto the site itself. Jolton here with this deployable shield has his power position, and he's going to check the cameras himself. Why use your teammates if you can do it all on your own? DS Lucas now running around, taking out a drone, looking through split, but no attackers will be there just yet. The swing on the Lion will bear no fruit as the EE1D scan goes down. Now DS Lucas will back off. 10 seconds left. The 5v3. No, the 2v2 as the scoreboard lights up. Melted with a double kill. They're just going to search for these frags. 3 seconds left. The diffuser's going to need to go down. All DS Lucas has to do is find the planter from this angle. He'll find one. That's going to be Callout, who gets very low but not taken fully down. Now it is a post-plant situation for the Jaeger. Now the onus is on him to get this retake going. That's going to be easier said than done, of course, as he has 2 to find. Callout gets spotted out and gets down to the ground. And now Melted, taking up this position over on the Dragon Stairs, should be aware of this position of the Jaeger and should be able to cut off this cross. But brilliantly, DS Lucas is going to go around split to prevent that angle from working out. DS Lucas is sure to pad that KD, find the final blow on a Callout, and now is going to inch over towards that diffuser. He'll tease it. He'll get on it. Pros never fake, but he's going to fake here and is going to run out of time. Without time to defuse, it's just going to be a battle of who can add a kill to their chart, and that's going to be DS Lucas, who will do that, but it's not going to matter. Ape have won the round.
Well, here's an attacker win for you. So the defender-sided nature of Theme Park is a bit dealt with here for Ape, and I think partially to blame is the aggressiveness that we saw from the FAVELAS, taking every opportunity to swing, peek, or jump out of the map. And unfortunately for them, what that meant was the death of one of their dearly beloved teammates, with Fish falling so early. But you need to, at some point, calm down on this aggressive play, because it's only going to get you so far. I think Fish probably would have made it back into the building if the window had been properly prepped, or maybe he just kind of jumped out there and he was like, well, you know, I don't know, I'm not sure, I'm just going to try to go for this gunfight, I'm going to take it, and if I lose, you know, that's what's what. In this round, I think the FAVELAS are going to probably reel it back just a little bit, pull in that line, and not be so aggressive. But what do I know? Maybe the FAVELAS are just going to double down even further and, you know, send the whole team outside of the building.
Well, Gomez is now going to be on that Wamai, so you got to assume that he is no longer going to be jumping out of the building, but you never know. You see the FAVELAS, clearly that fatigue is setting in. That fatigue is leading over to just the desire to kind of mess around and have fun with it, and you can't fault them for that. It is Siege after all. It is a video game. You're supposed to have some fun, and you can compete for some money in the process. Now we're gonna head over to Bunk and Daycare. This is a site that the FAVELAS won handily last time they were here, aided in a large part by that aggression. And we're gonna take a look here, and we're gonna see Fish well off site, Jolton well off site to set up these cameras. Now Fish just dancing around over in Gong, just waiting exactly for this opportunity to strike. Yaga gonna be the first player to contest this position, coming over to this window here. Actually gonna rappel up towards this balcony to get the site pressure started. And we're gonna have to see exactly how this pressure mounts. We have seen Ape struggle to really get their pressure fully going in this round. You know, in this map, they haven't made a ton of progress on the site itself. A near C4 detonates under the feet of the attackers, but they emerge unscathed. And now, with the assistance of that C4, the hatch into control room will be opened wide and allow them to gain a sightline into there and start to get that crossfire established into Top Dragon.
The cache and control room clear likely to begin very soon, with Yaga outside of the balcony and waiting to push in through the door just as soon as he gets his teammates' intel from that drone, as you can see it moving into the bathroom. Gomez will rotate this shield, so a quick change from the FAVELAS as soon as they realize this is not going to be a cafe balcony push. Instead, it will be entirely focused on the east to west clear that we see coming through currently from Yaga. They're going to move the shield to the spot known as Angel, just outside of the bunk's door, so that they can have the Wamai sit in that corner and then shoot back as soon as anyone overexposes themselves to the control room door here. It's likely to be Ape or Call Out in that engagement. We'll have to wait and see, though, as far as who it will be in the end. 1 minute and 10 seconds. Another slow start here for Ape. They don't have that man advantage to back up their time waste, though, which is a big concern should we see them struggle through the swamp approaching the objective. A frag grenade in the hand of Jay. He's looking to toss it through to the player waiting just on the opposite side of the wall, but this Banshee will prove to be a big obstacle in their way, and so much utility in the path of Ape, they haven't even managed to clear it all yet, despite the massive amount of time that they've sunk into this push. Beastly holding close at the doorway. The SMG-11, he's getting ready to peek Yaga and maybe send him down 0-5. Opportunity is exposed, but he didn't realize it. Beastly, knocked aside by the air jab, manages to escape and bide his time for a little bit longer.
Well, you talk about biding time, and that's exactly what the Favelas have done here so beautifully. The 20-second meta coming into play here. We're going to have to see this scoreboard explode with some frags because Ape have found nothing quite yet. Now they'll swing in. Yaga finds one for us with the second. Now it's a 5v3, but Beastly responds. Jolton as well. Beastly with M590 takes down Call Out. Melted gets the response. It's all up to Forrest to find two, and it will be shut down. Jolton from behind in the 20-second meta. Well, that's not going to be enough for Ape. They're going to have to do more than that. Beautiful, punishing performance there from Favelas, not allowing that push to find any ground.
Here we go into the final round of the first split, number 5 for Favelas. If they can secure it here and now, a 5-1 split would be shocking. The odds against their opponents of Ape, and this is what we were talking about during the pregame phase. Winning this map is imperative to the success of Favelas if they want to move forward. And because of that, their start on the defense gives them a bit of an edge. Securing this 5-1 split will be huge for them because it puts them well within reach of match point, as should be obvious, but also protects them should Ape immediately swing back with a 5-1 half of their own. That would leave us heading into overtime as a result and would guarantee almost Ape being unable to secure essentially just a plain victory should they perform really well on their defenses. We have to wait and see, though, as far as that part of the storyline. Should Ape take this round, that gives them a bit of an edge. Cafe, or rather Theme Park, is one of the maps very rarely, pretty much the only one, I think, that we expect a team to go 1-5 on. It is so difficult to find your footing. This would be the bomb site, I think, for Ape to win it on, though, heading down to what you described as the quaternary bomb site and what a lot of players consider it to be. It's just kind of an issue of people do not like playing, I think, Office as much as maybe they used to. It's very kind of straightforward as an attacker. Holding control of daycare and bunks is really awkward for the extension, and so you have to turtle up a lot of times if you want to go for a win on this site, if you elect to pick it. The vertical extension, I think, is pretty simple on this site. So far, Ape, though, are going to attempt a different method. Not one that's very successful, though, as Beastly once more gets aggressive onto Melted and guns down the Nomad. With her still outside the building, it's very likely to see that we just lost 3 aerojaps that were not deployed.
Well, Yaga going to start deploying the Ash over into Cafe to start this take. But only already a minute burned in this round. This take is already quite slow. This is what Ape have done all night on this attack, and that's something we've seen struggle with on Theme Park. Yes, it's Theme Park. It's a very hard map to attack, but the efficiency here needs to step up. Otherwise, this is surely going to be a 5-1 in favor of the Favelas. That's going to be another pick on the board. Gomez taking off the head of Jay. That's going to be the sledge. No more frag grenades as Yaga finds one, trades it out onto Gomez, but he'll be traded out himself. Forrest takes one on to Fish. Actually, that was the defender who would fall, equalizing us at 3-3. Dias Lucas also on the roam, ignoring sight completely, looking to find more. Sprinting all over now, but won't be caught out, and will start to rotate away. With a minute 20 to go in this round, the attackers have now made their top floor clear complete. It's Jolton, Beastly, and DS Lucas, who are both back on this site. And well, they are going to have to hold off this attack. But this attack has yet to find its footing. It hasn't exactly chosen where they want to mount this pressure from, as Yaga is still doing that top floor clear. They still suspect there's a defender up here, but they would be mistaken. The Jackal tracks go out. That will reveal the position of one, and they will know at least that DS Lucas is downstairs, hanging out in Fireplace in Throne Room. So he is off-site, but he is not upstairs. He could at any point rotate up the Dragon Stairs, as you said, Reese, because the air jabs are taken off the table so early. With 40 seconds to go, it looks like this one's coming down to the wire just as well.
We'll have to see what DS Lucas can contribute now that he has returned to anchor on the objective with his two teammates. Yaga's pushing up quickly here. Despite the gas canister, he'll miss one flashbang, tosses a second, and I think that was a Selma we saw sent in by Callout. DS Lucas for the peek. He might try to rotate, but instead stuck inside the bathroom. More flashbangs, more utility is deployed within the site. Jolton trying to hold off Yaga, but it'll be Beastly. He comes through big for his team and swings to find a quad. The Favelas take the 5-1 half.
Well, what a performance there from Beastly on an absolute tear so far in this map, just really outperforming Ape right now. That'll wrap up half number one with the Favelas, like you said, 5-1 lead. The momentum is on their side, but we're heading, of course, into the second half. It's now Ape's turn to go on defense, and on a map like Theme Park, well, it can very much go in their favor. We're going to see similar lineups coming out here from both teams. The Goyo, the new pick we're seeing tonight, coming out from a call out, but we're going to have to pay attention. Oh, there's the sixth pick, and that's going to be the Valkyrie instead. No surprise, you get the Maestro and the Valkyrie. The information at your fingertips is going to be plentiful. At the same time, you've got Mute to shut down any information that can be gained on the side of Favelas. That information denial can be so key, especially on Theme Park when we see these pushes coming in at the very last possible second. In terms of hard breach brought from the Favelas, excuse me, that's only going to be Beastly on the Ace. The Selma charges are it. So that's going to have to be a very precarious position for him, not going to be taken out early. Otherwise, a throne room take is surely impossible. But we are going to see this defensive style of Ape. Are they going to opt for as much tomfoolery as the Favelas did? I doubt it. I do think Ape are going to play it a little bit more controlled, and they're just going to have to hope that their controlled, strategical style of play is enough to take them over the top.
Attackers are moving out to locate
One thing that I think Ape are going to struggle to control is Mr. DS Lucas, who is 9-1 so far with a great KD in that line of score. He has frankly been unstoppable so far. Some people say that DS Lucas baits. I don't know if I agree with that. He is a smart player, and he's not always really directly on the flank watch. Usually in this lineup, it's between Fish and Gomez that play those roles. What is going on here, though? Forrest contesting this window early. Ape do not want to cede the drug storage room, and because of that, are going to make sure that Forrest is holding them back at every turn. Callout will rotate up to provide some top floor support. The swing is in, but oh no, Gomez succeeds on the long angle where the L85 reigns supreme. And because of that, the opener will be in their hands, and now a 5v4 with which to operate. The best way that the Favelas can start this off, and if they can translate this, further their man advantage and move us into a 5v3 with some good and efficient timing, this may be the 6-1 score they were looking for.
Yeah, and the 6-1 score, although defensive-sided, is nearly an insurmountable lead on any map, no matter how defensive-sided it is. Callout, facing a bit of danger, will rotate back to site into Throne Room itself, waiting for this push to come through, but immediately leaving and going back up the Dragon Stairs, hoping to find an opportunity there and what traction Callout could find. Now, all the way up in initiation, but this is not where the push is coming from. There aren't going to be those vertical holes opened up by the attackers. Jolton, the last remaining attacker upstairs, as Gomez going to use that frag grenade to burn any hard breach denial. That's going to be in the form of those mute jammers, and that's going to allow those Selma charges to go down on the yellow wall, and Jolton possibly get an angle over top, but nobody presenting themselves at the C7E just yet. So now we have Callout once again on the prowl, looking for these remaining attackers, but the opportunities are not there. It's Yaga, a beautiful shot onto Gomez with the Alda. Nice one there from him, but there's going to be another pick from Fish swinging in and removing Jay. Now Fish already up in split, now looking to take a lot more havoc onto this defensive team. Call out on the rotate before Fish can find one, though. Melted is dead. Now Call out sees one, but cannot deliver it, missing all the shots as Jolton takes down Yaga 1v4. It's all up to Call out, who's far afield and well out of place to make this happen. Fish will secure the triple and secure the round for the Favelas, giving them 6-1 match point.
Doesn't seem like Ape are exactly the best theme park team, and it's unfortunate for Callout there on the rotate. He tried to drop on down and rotate around, look for someone trying to get that done, but nope, he could not confirm the kill, and that attacker with which Callout was chasing, fortunately, played keep away, and he could not confirm that kill to begin the clutch as would have been necessary. Bunk is up next, but match point here is a daunting prophecy. Already, the Favelas have won the expected round count and just need one more. As long as they can get more attacker wins than we saw from their opponents, they'll be in the clear. And it looks like we're going to be heading there soon. After that dominant performance in the previous round, the Favelas are on fire and Ape is struggling to contain them, and this looks like a map 3 coming our way.
Well, map 3 surely in the books. It's up to Ape to see if they can do anything here with the Favelas in that 6-1 advantage. The Ape are going to try to pull out something, but it is definitely not looking good for them. We're going to head over to Bunk and Daycare with Ape trying to manufacture any amount of success that they can, but it is looking like Favelas do indeed have that advantage. Now, with the setup coming down, we are going to see quite a bit of utility devoted to holding the cafe side of things, but the wall is going to remain hard over towards Bunk and Train. Now, with that wall solidified, there can't be any long angles held from there all the way towards cafe, and that won't allow the attackers to get those angles as well, unless, of course, those Selma charges from Beastly on the ace make that happen. Now, at the beginning of this round, we are seeing the attackers go for that top-down pressure, likely opening those hatches soon, as we do see the drone work come out and the Wamai in that anchor position over behind that cafe shield, holding this down as long as possible. And as Gomez is going to be crouch walking on the roof, waiting for the sneaky hatch drop, possibly. Going to just do a quick fast drop. Oh, a double fast drop, potentially, with a triple fast drop. No way. Here it goes. They're going to jump on through. They're going to find one. DS Lucas finds one that's melted down. Forrest will respond, but he'll get taken out by Fish. Gomez finds one. Jay takes down Beastly, and now it's a 2v3. All of a sudden, this Ape defense has collapsed as this aggressive play from Fish and Gomez paid off. Yaga retaliates. Fish hits the deck. Now a 2v2. Jay tries to do it, but he can't. Jolton is too much. It's going to be all up to Yaga in that 1 versus 2 against Jolton and Gomez. C4 comes out. It's only going to do more damage to him than the actual opponent. He's going to be looking for someone with the SMG-11, but flustered clearly as this Favelas attack is mounting down to 2 HP. He's going to hide and hope to spare his own life here in the break room. But the plant is going down, and now Yaga is going to have to act. He can't hide for long. Now in a post-plant situation, it's Jolton and Gomez just waiting for Yaga to push in. The Jackal scan is on the feet of Yaga, so they know exactly where he's coming from. And just like that, the fatal blow is delivered, and the Favelas take map 1.
A dominant start. Ape, despite having that massive break, it's the momentum. Favelas built up, playing incredibly aggressive, and that final blitzing attack was ultimately the nail in the Ape coffin. You will see the scoreline immediately tied up at 1. Vetoed. The operator ban's now underway.
Well, the way this one's going to start out, I mean, I assume it's Clubhouse. You'll get your most typical bans, I guess, of all the maps. You know, your Thatcher and your Maverick, your Kaid, and then that last one, Mira, Valkyrie, or someone of the like will be your final one to go. Maybe a Wamai if people are so creative, but Wamai is less of a presence on Clubhouse as he is on the other maps like Oregon or somewhere like Cafe or Villa. So we're going to have to take a look, but Thatcher, the British man himself, he's going to be the first off the board, and that is no surprise indeed. And you no longer have those EMP grenades, and so you're going to have to work a bit harder on the attack. But it's no surprise, he's always banned. We rarely get to see him played. Hibana, the second ban, is an interesting one. We did see this play out yesterday when we were casting our clubhouse matchup. We did see that Hibana ban instead of the Maverick, but as a result, now Maverick can be fully aware. Can Maverick trick the plat wall, can get all those hatches open, even if that Hibana is off the table. No more X-Kairos pellets. Our Wamai ban coming through, the one we weren't quite sure of, and that is simply because the Kaid ban won't be essential, especially because the Maverick is still on the table.
Definitely. We'll see the final ban is Valkyrie. That's seeing a large uptick in her ban phase presence recently. In past times, you would expect to see ops like the Mira. During the meta of seasons past, it was almost a guarantee that you would see a Mira, just as the Thatcher ban is now our guarantee, but on the other side of things. Mira has seen a big rise in her presence as far as gem holds, I've noticed recently, and we'll see her brought out on the basement. A Mira on the basement is not really a common thing to see, and it makes me think it might be a 6-pick to try to trick them that they're going to a different objective. We'll have to see what the play is if Callout is going to switch, and there it is. He's onto the Jaeger, and that could have been probably pretty easy to spot. You're not playing the basement without a Jaeger or a Wamai in a typical scenario.
We talk about typical scenarios, and I think going into map number 2, I think we can expect anything but a typical scenario. We saw the squad here of the Favelas, they really just defied all expectations in the first map, and they're likely going to be looking to continue some of that same pressure. We got Jolton, Beastly, and Fish, who really all just put on a performance as well. Lucas, or Diaz, he was really a showstopper as well, putting up incredible numbers. And now Diaz, of course, will be on that Zofia, bringing those concussions and those impacts grenades, as well as that Claymore, to stop that rotate away. But we do have our first site picked now, and that's going to be the basement site. We're going to skip out on CCTV and Cash for now, and we're going to have to pay attention to the roam game and exactly how it's going to play out. We do have several potential roamers here. The Malusi, the Mozzie, and the Jaeger could all be perfect roaming candidates here. We're not going to get the full SSG roam extension, as the plat wall and the jacuzzi wall upstairs are not going to be points of issue right now, most of it remaining on the site itself.
Here comes Fish. He's going to drown out Stock, and DS Lucas will clear garage in tandem. So the Favela's looking to shut down any early roam presence. I don't think that is the largest priority right now in the eyes of APE. What will be, though, is control of blue, commonly called E-Box. You've got the Jaeger in this position, very aggressive. He's looking up through the hatch, trying to catch one of these two players now inside of Stock. Looks like it's I want to say that's the Ash in the Maverick. It is the Ash. Fish there, waiting with the R4C to drop the hatch and maybe get a bit aggressive with the pressure he applies. You've got Jay stacked up inside of dirt. So far, the Favela is not really going for a dirt-sided clear. The ADSs are gone, so now that position is given up. A drone is captured. I think one of the players trying to drone from Oil Pit. The ping comes out from Forest, and they'll create a new angle to watch Oil Pit itself. The impact is tossed. Another drone moves in as Jolton begins to open up the Moto hatch. He's going to try to go for 2, and from the looks of it, with his efficiency so far, he should be successful. A drone moves in. Jolton getting zapped a little bit by the hatch. Jay moves to the back of dirt to make sure that the door, or rather wall, is still closed. And we'll see the cam spot. I think Beastly's going to go for the wall bang here, or floor bang to get it removed. Gomez inching forward from Oil Pit. We already have that angle established, and Yaga is on it. The MP5, a very controllable firearm to have, and probably the best you could have asked at that spot. It's Fish, though, who collects a kill onto Jay. The smoke returning to site is caught and cut out. His mispositioning punished. Another one as well now as Yaga finds Gomez. Make that 2. It's a double. Can it be a third? Maybe yet, as Forrest gets the nitro onto Beastly. Jolton with the reflag shuts down Forrest himself. DS Lucas closing in with this kill onto Yaga. Jolton will fall. It's a 2v1. Ape in the advantage, and DS Lucas to try and rotate to get this done. The Jaeger is ready for it, but one missed shot translates into 2 kills for Callout. Ape with the first defensive victory.
Well, a brilliant defensive win there from Ape, and you really got to mention exactly where this Favelas attack came from. It all came from Blue, and it all came from Moda. Now, this is generally an approach we see a lot of teams taking, but there's one big issue that a lot of teams struggle with when you do this execute, and that is the players that are playing in Armory. Because if all of your attacking pressure is coming down Blue from Oil Pit and Secret and coming in Modo, you allow all of the Armory defenders to remain steadfast in their positions. They do not have to leave. If you're not pressuring Kitchen Hatch and you're not working your way up through Dirt, then all those people playing behind the boxes and playing in K9 spot, they do not have to leave, and they can hold the crossfire onto Blue. And instead of Blue becoming an advantageous position for the attackers to gain multiple lines of sight, it becomes rather a chokehold, a fatal funnel, as you would call it, into the Blue tunnel. And that is exactly what you need to avoid as an attacking team. And obviously it's hard to do that. You only have 5 members of your team. You can't stretch yourself out too thin. But if you see 3 attackers pushing down Blue and no pressure from Dirt or from Kitchen, that's where things start to get tough. You just cannot get an effective, easy push through Blue without clearing out those Armory people first. So that is why we saw the round play out the way it did. It was those players thrown in Armory who were so effective for so long, and while they eventually were taken down by a brilliant push from Diaz, it did not matter. Eventually, the Favelas just simply ran out of time and could not force out all of the defenders from their anchored positions.
We won't have to wait long to figure out what the result of CCTV defense was, as Ape are going here now. Jolton's got the Surrey torch in hand, looking to move fast to open this wall. Forrest on a bit of a roam down here inside of Oil Pit. He'll barricade off the Blue door and rotate up. SMG 11 primed, ready and in hand. The Maverick attempting to open up this wall, as you've got a bit of a stack up, it seems, outside of Jacuzzi as well. So perhaps the Favelas will attempt to put some pressure onto Master Bedroom and thus into construction as a result. The drone will move in to clear this out as Fish clears watching the flank, careful to make sure that Ape is not able to find an opportunity and go aggressive pushing up the main staircase. Jolton moves the drone down in to get the intel if somebody is inside of garage, though in fact the bottom layer is clear. Only person stationed in here is call out, though that is quickly changed as Forrest will rotate in and now hold off the pressure. The Maverick, I don't think, has been able to clear one section of this wall as Melted goes down. This construction push, the presence, as I mentioned, and the pressure being established already. It's Forrest who'll fall at the hands of Diaz. The headshot connects, and GMZ Gomez with another one as he cuts down Yaga. Now Favelas find themselves with a significant advantage, and with Melted on low HP, it doesn't look like the Ape defense will stand for much longer. Diaz finds call out, make that a triple kill for him. A third. Is Melted going to keep on peeking it? No, he's cut down by Fish. It's a flawless round for the Favelas and a commanding execute onto CCTV and Cash.
Well, it seemed that the Favelas know exactly how to attack this site brilliantly and cleanly, decisively taking that site, removing all of the defenders from play, not even bothering to get that diffuser down, just getting the frags and out-fragging the Ape defenders. Seems that Ape are going to elect to try that one more time, but when you see the result of that last round, it's hard to reason and hard to support this decision. You know, going back to a site where Favelas just hit you with a flawless round in decisive fashion, not easy to do that. Not easy to go back and say you can correct those mistakes. Here's that we are getting a call for a rehost here, but we're going to have to wait for the admin confirmation. And
I think probably a better change probably would have been adding maybe more fuel in each of the tanks, just like a bit more rather than a whole nother tank entirely, because usually when you're kind of going at it with the hatch, you're going to run out of fuel kind of one by one. You don't start and stop so much with the Maverick torch because that's a very ineffective and inefficient use of the gas.
Yeah, well, we're going to have to see if Ape can find the gas of their own and respond to that efficient and decisive Favelas flawless round. And they're going to be trying CCTV and Cash once again, as we noted before, after the rehost has now successfully been completed here. Forrest, the player to watch for Ape, he was an absolute star earlier today in the winner's bracket finals. But so far, he's been largely suppressed in this match on the Jaeger. Now, with this setup going down, we got to pay attention to see if Ape are going to make any changes to how they set this one up. Are they going to put more resources going towards the jacuzzi side of things, the master bedroom wall? Any roamers over there? Or is it simply going to be the same setup and they just wait for the favelas to do the exact same thing now that they're prepared for it? But you got to expect to see something different, because trying the same thing twice in a row and expecting a different result, well, that is never a recipe for success.
5 seconds left.
Yeah, I like the way that you put it, but we'll see more utility dedicated over here now, which is, it's really uncommon, honestly, this hold that APE are going for, but it's smart to see from them, because they recognize what the favelas did last round, which is applied a lot of pressure to master bedroom. They moved very swiftly when they did so. They didn't waste a lot of time. They didn't really, you know, get caught up with going for the garage push, which can be so difficult, right? Because you have to clear out a lot of utility. They're going to be confronted by this mirror window, but the hesitancy that they exhibit shows me that they already know this window is here. One player out on the balcony is very exposed, standing stock still as well. It's Gomez holding the rotate. If Callout had intel on this, he could have gotten a freebie, but I think it will likely lapse, and Callout will miss this opportunity lest they open up more of the wall or the spray comes out. The Logi hatch has also been opened now, so another area where you can potentially establish some pressure here. We can see just there briefly for the moment on the cam that the main breach has been opened as well. Plat wall now becomes a significant avenue for favelas to utilize in their future push to the objective, and Jolton will rotate as well. He's still got plenty of gas even after that earlier trick, likely to open up this wall, and the vertical pressure from below in the bar, a thing that you see so rarely but good teams know about, will result in the mirror window being popped and open. Really smart from both teams. APE in their quick switch to analyze favelas' previous attack and to make the change necessary in order to stall this out, and also the favelas for knowing that you can go below there and making the dedication, the time, and the effort to get it done.
I mean, perfect adaptations from both teams. And now Fish, after that beautiful shot from below to pop that mirror window, has granted his team access to the master bedroom side. DS Lucas here looking through this breach, but now aware of a possible run out, will be assisted by his teammates now pushing up into cash, and that's going to be Fish. Melted now aware that there's a push coming in, but still has firm control of rafters with a minute to go, as now Jay lurks around waiting for the opportunity, figuring out exactly where this flank should start coming from. But with two players outside CCTV window, the nades come in. Forrest gonna take 50 HP of damage. Here comes Fish. Fitz gets shut down with Forrest, a beautiful headshot with the 416. That time the nade's gonna be too much. He's gonna be caught out, and Callout will find one. Jolton takes two down. DS Lucas rather will find Callout, not 2 for Jay. Now it's a 3 versus 3 rather, with 30 seconds to go. A 3 versus 2 as Yaga finds Jolton. Now it's gonna be the favelas on the back foot. Beastly jumps into CCTV, looks towards rafters, but the Alda is too much to handle. It's gonna be all up to Diaz now, looking for anybody possible. 15 seconds left without the diffuser, an impossible situation, pushing in this ultimate crossfire. Yaga delivers the kill, and Diaz will fall, and APE will take their second defensive round win. Round number 3 completed here on Clubhouse.
You said it right. APE made the perfect adaptation. Nothing, there was no fault in it, really. I mean, aside from the fact that APE gave that up, but I think that was just smart logistics from them. They realized that eventually the favelas are going to stop slowing down in their take, and they're going to probably rotate someone to the master bedroom window to set up a crossfire. When the mirror is eventually forced out, she would get taken out, likely killed in that scenario. But luckily for Callout, he made the decision that it was time to rotate back, and even despite APE suffering some losses and facing a bloody battle for control of cash itself, they managed to persevere in the end, and with their adaptations, win the round. We'll head now, I think, to the basement. So it's been fairly standard between these two bomb sites. Not very many variations or no gyms being played yet. That's largely because APE don't need to. Why go to a tertiary bomb site when one of your primaries, effectively more defensible, are still unlocked?
Well, we are going to see the mirror brought out once again. This time, going to put those mirror windows facing blue, knowing that that push from favelas loves to come from there. But I have no reason to suspect that the favelas are going to do the exact same thing. They're probably going to change something up, do something unexpected, because we just saw them do the same thing twice in a row, and they walked into a perfect counter from APE, the mirror window facing jacuzzi. That allowed the time to just tick away, the 11th man of that clock to come into effect. And even though they were able to deal with that mirror window rather efficiently, it was still a massive time waste and more than enough for Ape to take the defensive round win. So going into round number 4, we're headed to basement, like you said, Reese, and we're going to take a look at Jolton on the Maverick once again, using that Surrey torch to get those hatches open. Forrest, no roam coming out from him just yet, simply a strong position held here in blue, assisted by several ADSs behind the generator. Now with about 2 minutes 20 seconds, the roam clear has been completed by the drones. That's going to give Fish and Jolton the full run of the map. They can go all over this second floor, the first floor rather, and look for exactly where they want to start getting this approach going from.
Good to see that immediately Melted reacts and rotates. He does not spend any time fooling around inside of Moto or contesting the Maverick, because he understands that once Jolton gets going on that hatch, it is very likely to immediately open up. There's not going to be a real halt in the progress here, especially since the other hatch is already open. So what does Jolton have to do in his future besides work and consolidate with the rest of his team in this push? We'll see an Ash charge is wasted to clear this ADS, a smart use of utility, but Forrest has got more than just that backing him up, and I think it was either a failure of intel from the Favelas, they didn't know that there was a second, or Forrest, in fact, tried to ADS trick and was successful in juggling them and putting one down. We'll see Jolton now, diffuser in his pocket. He's already used one frag grenade. Gomez is completely out of them, and so they'll need to use what remains of their explosive utility quite sparingly. Callout suffering a bit of early damage. I think that's about 24 taken off of him. A minute to go here. The Favelas will begin to mount their attack, and they're going to have to get going soon. Again, I don't think we're seeing much pressure applied to Dirt, unless Jay is maybe just getting a bit paranoid that the Favelas are moving in. We're not totally sure just the state of events over there, but you can see the full 5 highlights. Everyone is in the map, in blue or in kitchen, somewhere around the map. Jolton finds the opener now as he shuts down Callout. Already taken low, the Mira will be eliminated. No more Nitro Cell for her. It's Gomez going big on the site. Forrest, however, 2 refrags for him. Both Jolton and Fish goes down. Gomez, I think, just confirmed there by the electrified wall. That is not the best that you would like to have. We'll see the sledge on the floor, so it's a 3v2. Picking up Gomez, very unlikely. The Favelas have to move in and protect this plant with the mute on the roam. He gets shut down, but so too does the defuse planter. And so now we'll see a 1v2, make that a 1v1. The defuse will have to go down. This should be an easy closeout, but Yaga plays it passive. The worst decision to make in this scenario gives DS Lucas the perfect opportunity. If he gets up quickly enough on the plant, nope, it won't happen. Yaga confirms it for 2 back-to-back defenses.
Well, a great conclusion there from Ape to round out their defensive win, and a little bit of that, well, interesting situation that happened from Gomez. I'm not sure if everybody caught it, but Gomez was at very, very low HP and then backed up slowly into an electrified wall, and that was enough to take him down but not out, and that was definitely an unfortunate situation for the sledge. The defensive win there on the basement, that's a good place for Ape to be, and it's still 3-1. The Favelas definitely have the ability to take this one back and even it out, but Ape are going to be looking to continue this momentum as we head over to our tertiary bomb site of Gym and Bedroom. This is a bomb site that's become increasingly sneaking into the meta here or there as more teams become familiar with setting up those defensive positions, and attacking squads have yet to have a lot of practice on this site. And that is why we see it picked more and more. But it's still definitely the tertiary site. And that's why we are seeing it come out as a last resort for Ape.
Defenders, protect your bombs from being defused by
As well go here now. And the tertiary site, I think it's likely that Ape probably lose. It seems like the Favelas are slowly mounting a comeback. And Clubhouse has honestly really blown my expectations out of the water. The level of play that we're seeing demonstrated here by both Ape and the Favelas has been considerable. I mean, we had that wonderful adaptation inside of the previous CCTV defense on round number 3. We had the Favelas trying to diversify their push, but Should we go down to the basement in overtime? There is one change that I have identified, and honestly, I think the Favelas need to try and invest more in their dirt push. It's been pretty low priority so far, and I think as a result, they've lacked a lot of the dynamics that make a successful defense on Clubhouse work. We've seen them move in from Moto and Blue every single round almost, and even though it was close to a post plant, I think you would find more confidence and more consistency if you tried to go for that same take as well. But let's focus on what's in the moment, and that will be the cache and CCTV extension of the gym bedroom defense. You've got one player, I think that's Call Out, hiding inside of cache with Melted, the Goyo at top red. We've seen Ape run this strategy before, if I'm not wrong. I seem to remember this pretty vividly, where Melted will sit with the Vulcan shield at the top of red with plenty of ADSs to cover it, and then eventually when the ADSs are clear and his shield becomes vulnerable, he will rotate back. The Favelas can read into that, though. If they're aware of this strategy, they can station maybe an air jab or something down there to try to lock this rotate off. I don't think that's the hugest priority for them right now. What is getting entries onto the site. We'll see Yaga falls out, and so you've lost your mute, and with that, a Nitro cell.
Well, Jay will find the answer that Ape are looking for. The Ash taken off the board, only kept at that 1 kill so far this match, except obviously we had that rehost early on. Now Melted rotating away from that top red stairs position that you mentioned he was in, and he'll rotate all the way around towards main stairs to go support the rest of his team. He is unsure exactly where he wants to approach from, but will be repositioning shortly as that deployable shield is spotted out in that power position on the bed, allowing players on the defensive side to quick peek around that on towards that master bedroom window. Jay has backed off here and over going into the bathroom, just waiting for this push to come through. Forrest still and Logi holding an aggressive position on this hatch, but we need to take a note of this cache extension that we've talked about before, and it really has yet to be dealt with. I mean, we haven't seen the Favelas push on this. They're only focusing this pressure onto the jacuzzi wall for now. We see Gomez outside there as well as Beastly. They've opened this up with that Selma charge, but that's going to be a vault hole and a dangerous vault hole to jump in at that. The first Toxic Babe goes out, as will a frag grenade, but neither connecting with their designated target. Jay continuing to pre-fire this with the SMG-11, but neither him nor Jolton will find much. Jolton gets taken out. Call Out swings the CCTV window with the Alda. No pressure on that side is going to allow Call Out free roam of the windows. Now down the man advantage, a 3 versus 4 with 20 seconds to go. This execute is sure to falter, but come down soon.
The big first step here for Favelas is to find the equalizer, but that's not going to happen. In fact, it's Ape who move even further. Beastly gets one onto Jay, but one player will be playing keep away, and the Zofia can't get much done. It's Call Out for 2, a triple kill in the end, and that lack of CCTV pressure, as you mentioned, allowing for both aggressive peeks out onto the master bedroom balcony from the CCTV window, as well a force-in. It just did not work for them, and the Favelas tried to go for that, and it fell flat, in my opinion. I would like to see them try to go for something more traditional. I understand that the Favelas are trying to, focus on just one thing at a time, but I've talked about this already. Siege, especially on Consulate, is about that min-maxing effort, and you have to be going for more than one area of control at once. That's a key part of being successful in T3, is being able to coordinate across multiple planes. In this instance, just one plane. Going from CCTV, getting that control and confronting the extension. Maybe that was just something that they didn't want to try and buy into because Ape's got all their utilities stacked up over them. So instead forced for the site, but Ape played a better fragging game. The trades were there for them, and the team played better in their coordination.
Yeah, the coordination from Ape was absolutely there. I mean, having the information that there's no pressure coming from that CCTV side and having the Maestro rotate out to help the pressure on that master bedroom window was simply a beautiful play. I mean, if you know the pressure's not there, you can take advantage of the window that everybody knows is going to be peaked. Even on the old clubhouse before the rework, the CCTV window was still facing the gym and the bedroom windows and was always a common defensive peak spot for any aggressive roamer. But this time, the Favelas chose not to deal with that whatsoever. Not even putting pressure on CCTV in general, but they didn't even have, a flank drone or somebody watching that to be aware of those potential peaks. And that's a dangerous position to be in. And now in round number 6, it's the Favelas in the dangerous position at 4-1. Ape, if they were to go 5-1 here, that is a more than successful defensive half. I mean, generally we see teams go 4-2, and that's a okay place to be as an attacking team, but 5-1 is not where you want to be if you're the Favelas. Already we see the same extension coming out from Ape as we saw the second time they were able to find success on CCTV. We see the Mira all the way over facing Jacuzzi, who will be supported by Forrest. Gomez not going to waste any time getting this pressure on the CCTV window. Has 2 frag grenades to potentially lob out. There will no doubt be some ADSs waiting to grab those away.
Gomez is covering the rotate from Zulu. I don't think anyone from Ape is going to wander through there, though, especially after the brutal lesson they were taught in that first CCTV attempt, where Lucas was able to kill everyone on their team from outside the balcony. If they peeked him, they lost. And, well, you're not going to do that again. I think he is still out there. Yep, he is. He's got the Banshee in front of him, though. He's got some utility left in the lifeline. I think you could clear this, but mostly from the Favelas, the goal isn't to push from flat wall. It's to push in and take control of cash while you have DS Lucas sit out on that angle and provide the flank watch, really, the coverage. We'll see 2 kills come through. Both Fish and Jolton fall, and now the Ape team are even more successful on their extension than we've seen in previous rounds. They have yet to forfeit control because they recognize that they don't need to. And Forrest gets yet another one now, taking out Gomez. It's a 5v2, and that 5-1 split that you mentioned looks ever possible.
And now with 50 seconds to go, it's an impossible task for Beastly. He'll get domed by Yaga, and Forrest will wrap it up. A flawless round for Ape to round out the first split on Clubhouse. And we talked about the fatigue possibly setting in for both of these teams, but I think we just saw the fatigue start to set in for the Favelas. These last few attacking rounds since the flawless round have not looked like the Favela gameplay we've seen and known to enjoy. I mean, it looked disjointed, it looked a little bit sloppy, and they're playing like 5 individuals rather than one cohesive unit. And when you get to this level of siege, if you struggle to play together, you're going to struggle to put those rounds on the board. And that's exactly what we're seeing right now from the Favelas. They did not quite get that extension cleared as soon as they wanted to. I mean, there wasn't quite that decision made, direct site pressure or clear the extension. And because of that, misstep there on their coordination, it got a bit disjointed, and those extended players were able to just have their way with the Favelas attackers, presented with 1v1 gunfight after 1v1 gunfight. And we've talked about it before, but especially when your defenders are isolated, or at least roughly isolated from the site with only 1 or 2 buddies to support them, you need to take them out as a team, as a unit, rather than letting them win those 1v1 gunfights one at a time. But we're headed over to our second split, our second half of Clubhouse, and now the focus will be on the Favelas defense and the Ape attack. The Favelas are no doubt going to be strong on defense here, because we know everyone is strong on defense on Clubhouse, but Ape's attack is going to have to be on point. But they've proven, at least on their defensive half, that they have what it takes to make those adaptations, to pivot their strategy when they see something that they can't quite deal with just yet.
This feels like shades of Theme Park, honestly, to me. Like, for Ape, they're 5-1. They had a lot of success on their defense, and they're looking to try and close it out here and now. Yaga is droned in, the hot drone from his teammate as he moves down the main stairs. Someone going to try and peek him. I think that's Jolton from inside Moto. In fact, it is. So I'll get the ready. The A3 looking to meet its target, but I don't think Ape are yet to peek. In fact, they aren't, and Jolton will give it up. He's not going to continue sitting there. In fact, he will open up the hole in the roof, ostensibly in preparation for what should be a colossal nitro cell launch. If Yaga gets too comfortable down at bottom main and waits far too long, the Favelas may find a freebie here, but they need to have the connect on the intel. If they don't know they're down here, they can't do much about it, but the nitro cell is now out of the question as Callout guns down Jolton to claim the opening frag.
Well, the opening frag is just that, the good start for APE that they need to get this attack pressure mounting, as now we see that blue outline scrambling up above, deciding exactly where they want to get this pressure mounting from. Diaz ready to prep this C4, toss it over through this small hole. Give it a little dance for us, just waiting to toss it out. Beastly gonna make sure that doesn't get caught on the wall and risk a team kill by opening it up even more. Here goes the toss, but it will not connect. Everyone remaining unscathed. Now with a minute 15 to go, this attacking pressure now coming down main stairs and has turned its focus over towards blue and Moto. We're not going to see a lot of pressure coming in on kitchen hatch or in dirt tunnel, and what that's going to mean is that our armory defenders just hanging out in there can just stay here for the rest of the round. Fish is content here hanging out behind the box and going towards K9 spot, can just hang out here as long as need be with 50 seconds to go.
Well, here comes Melted looking to apply a lot of pressure as he moves in from Oil Pit. You've also got a split take. Ape learning from the lessons of the favelas and attacking from more than one spot, and I don't know if GMC is prepared for it. No, he's not! Call out with the triple kill. Gomez, Fish, both now dead. Beastly will fall as Call Out secures the quad kill. Doesn't get the ace, though. Stolen by Melted. Ape race forward to match point with a 6-1 scoreline.
Brilliant work from Ape, and you mentioned that this just looks exactly like Theme Park, and I have to agree with you, Reese. I mean, this is looked perfect from Ape, and that momentum is not switching around. I do think this plays into the fatigue of these teams. It is so much harder to mount a comeback when you are tired, when you are worn out, when the mental game is lacking a little bit. It's going to be so much harder to get that pressure going and to bring, a 5-1 comeback back to overtime or get that pressure going. And I think that's what we're seeing from both teams, and that's exactly what happened on Theme Park, and it's exactly what is happening on Clubhouse. The 6-1 deficit, it's almost impossible here for the favelas to make this comeback, and so I do think that it's going to be Ape the victors, sending us in to map number 3. They already have that 1-1 tie because of that winner's bracket advantage. So if they emerge victorious on this one, I do think that may really help them out going into our third and potentially ultimate map. But as we set up the potentially ultimate round of this particular map, it's going to be CCTV and Cash, the focal point for the favelas.
Well, Jonah, it's real good that there isn't a hatch inside of Zulu, because I think Ape would probably put 3 players on that and go for a hot drop, seeing that they're in this situation. But yeah, Ape have so much momentum. It's in their back pocket looking to claim that 2-1 scoreline and advance forward to, as you described it, probably the final map of this series, unless the favelas pull out something epic for the next map when we get there eventually. Gomez will rotate up, and he's getting in on the action as the rest of favelas equip their site for this defense. And here's something you almost never see: a double mirror window stack on the main plat wall. I have never casted this strategy. I've seen it maybe once or twice in ranked, but this is just the favelas looking for something. And I'm not going to dig this strategy either, because it works. You can try to stop the hard breaching. It becomes a much more difficult task. Jolton's going to have to pop this window eventually, taking a lot of damage. He will crawl backwards deeper within the objective to try and go for it. The first window is popped, and this honestly could push back. The pressure it should establish onto Ape will be difficult to fight against. Unfortunately, he didn't pop that window. What is this nitro? Oh my god, Gomez! Forrest from just what a nitro, launching it out all the way, and the Surrey torch is gone.
Well, that's a great way to kick it off if you're the favelas here, but this mirror strat seemed to have backfired here, as now once that Surrey torch came up, the Maverick darted over there and opened up the plat wall from below, and that was enough to force Jolton out of that position. It does appear, however, that Ape are going to change their point of attack. They're not going to send it all hard on this plat wall. They do have a line of sight through there because the mirror window has indeed been opened. So now the next step in this attack is going to be clearing out Beastly from rafters. Obviously, easier said than done. The Alda is a fierce weapon and a fierce opponent to contend with, but he's going to swing and get taken out by Call Out. The over-aggression from Beastly will be punished in a big way. That's going to even us out at 4 versus 4 with a minute to go in this potential ultimate round, as Diaz now rotating back up the red stairs to go support the team. waiting for this push to come out through rafters. But this is the 90-degree crossfire that you need. Hello? Jay on the Capitao delivers the dome headshot onto Gomez, taking out the peeking Malusi, who's standing on top of green box. Now it's going to be Fish hoping to deny this plant, but again, this is going to be a challenging task. Now with the full 180-degree crossfire established through 51 window, rafters, and the plat wall, the smokes are going to go down and the plant is surely to follow.
Great smoke canister there, locks off the potential for any peek. Oh no, but the Vector wins it versus Melted. A Nitro is launched out but doesn't connect. Another gas canister, or smoke rather, is shot out from the Capitao's launcher. We'll see Call Up find Jolt in the 3v2. Another Nitro cell manages to deny the plant. Jay picks it right back up, but Fish confirms it. DS Lucas on the call out in the Favelas with the 2v3 clutch to keep themselves in it.
Well, that's one way to answer back. You pull out the unorthodox strategy, the mirror window strat, which didn't work at all, but then the rest of it unfolded and just the cards fell the way that they did, and it was the Favelas who ended up on top of the pile. But it may be a little too late for the Favelas. It's 6-2, it's still match point. They're gonna need 4 more rounds to bring this back. Against the Gatekeepers in the losers bracket, they were down 2 rounds and it was match point, and yes, they made that comeback, but this is a very greater margin against quite a better team, and that will be APE R6. So we're headed over to our next defensive round. This time, it looks like the tertiary bomb site of gym and bedroom is coming into play. Now, if you're the Favelas or a fan of Favelas, I think this is exactly what you want to see. The gym and bedroom site is the way that they're going to continue to shake things up a bit, bring the unorthodox, the surprising plays, because they're going to need to bring something crazy to continue to rack up these rounds that they sorely need.
Right. Going back down to Arsenal now, I think, would give APE an opportunity that you don't want to let them have. They already know how to win that round, and it feels like APE have a commanding understanding of how you need to attack when you go down to the basement. And hey, maybe that's true for Jim as well, but the Favelas, they don't know that. All they know is what happened back on the Arsenal Church round, and they know that they don't want to lose out now and head to that third map. They want to keep fighting and secure this even more so. One of the issues that Favelas faced on their gym hold was the lack of pressure being put onto the CCTV plat wall. I think you brought this up, and I mentioned it as well. They never tried to really go for anything substantial when opening this wall. They did not open it, period. And because of that, the player inside of CCTV was allowed to peek out that window, something that should never happen. Because if you can peek out that window, the attackers, they cannot play on the gym window. We'll see an exothermic detonate here. It's actually the secondary hard breach gadget, excuse me, no thermite in play, and that's not something you see all too common. Jay goes for the swing after already taking a bunch of damage. Jolton lands the headshot. Man advantage in favor of the Favelas for some time.
Now the Favelas are continuing their reign of terror for just a bit longer. Jolton gonna waste all of his mag, all of his ammo here to open this, rotate a bit more to support Beastly here, positioned with this Vulcan shield over on top red. Jolton gonna take quite a bit of damage here from the construction wall, as the construction window rather, as that Vulcan shield has been detonated and Beastly has been removed by Forrest. Another swing comes out from Jolton, but punished brutally by Yaga. That's gonna be the Zofia delivering that blow. Now 3 versus 4. It's gonna be up to Fish, Gomez, and Diaz. They're gonna have to do the rest of the work here with 1:30 to play in this round, with match point on the line. They've got the info, they've got the camera still up, even the default cam is still in play, but that is not revealing much information for now, as most of the attacking pressure is working its way in from the cache and CCTV side of things. There'll be a player darting past the window, Fish not able to get the shots, but for now, it's going to be a standoff here at the master window. But because CCTV is in control of the attackers, you can't have any cheeky runouts there from the defense. That Favelas fell victim to the C4, though. That'll be enough. That'll deliver the kill on to Yaga, and the C4s from the Favelas have been brutal here in these last few rounds.
The Sophia blown sky high, and now the man advantage doesn't mean much. In fact, it's equal between the two teams. Melted gonna approach the window looking to apply gym pressure. There's one player actually waiting deep inside and close to the drone hole. That's the Jaeger. They're aware of this now, as indicated by the ping and indicated by the pressure to establish. And maybe they're not. Do they spot him? He's close on the bomb chassis, but I don't think they're still aware of this. And Lucas will remain. An aggressive run out. It's like the future. Here he comes, and the kill on the Melted. Returning, though, he's caught on the rotate, and Call Out will gun him down as Forrest moves to take the Ash's place. Jumping in now, there's one player over by TV corner, but Fish, with the support of his teammate, lands the kill onto Forrest. And now we'll see the seconds elapse as Call Out will have to come through in the clutch if he wants this to be over now, but the mute doesn't peak until the very end, and Fish with the crossfire, the Favelas win their gym hold.
Okay, the Favelas are putting on a performance. They don't want this one to end too early. The tricky play, the tertiary bomb site coming into play here, and that worked. I mean, in those closing seconds, that 2v2, I really did think Ape had the advantage, but the one misstep is that the diffuser, Ape, with the hands of the Selma warrior, the Ace, and Maverick, who was over on the gym window, they were separated. And they did not have the positioning where they could get into sight and cover the plant. What needed to happen there was either the Maverick had to rotate over to support the Ace, or Call Out had to rotate over to go for that gym plant. Because when each player went in the 1v1 gunfight, we talk about it all the time, presenting the defenders with these easy 1v1s, that's not going to work out too well, especially when you drop that diffuser down so early, and at that point it was up to the Maverick. He had to find two and pick up that diffuser or search for those frags, and it was a nearly impossible comeback and that he could not make happen. So the Favelas will stay alive. It's 6-3, still match point. They've got 2 in a row, and they're gonna need 3 more. They're gonna be hoping that the basement site is the thing that they need to bring this back, but they definitely have their work cut out for them.
The rest of the Favelas starting to crank up the heat. We saw just moments ago, our wonderful observer Ty pulled up the scoreboard, and you can see that the kills are fairly equal across the board for the Favelas. Maybe their attacks were not the best, and they didn't have the most frag spread between them, but it's not like this comeback is simply being carried by just 1 or 2 players. The frags are very evenly spread. It's DS Lucas and Fish taking the lead, and I think that's probably consistent to remain. The rounds you're going to lose here for the Favelas are the ones that Ape have the best understanding of, and, well, we're headed down to that bomb site where they found success in the previous round. I wanted to dig into this, but Ape moved very fast last time we went down to Church and Arsenal, and that's the fact that they apply pressure to dirt, something Favelas never attempted. And I think that's what really helps them be successful. And you might say, well, Sticula, you know, when you attack CCTV, or rather Arsenal, you're going to have to put some pressure on the dirt. But the Favelas never opted to do that, and Ape have been very successful at it. Just simply the ability for them to push and clear out dirt has worked wonders, because they did pretty much exactly the same other execute strategies that the Favelas did in pushing down from blue with a combination support from Moto, but you add dirt into the mix there, and now you have a 3-way crossfire, which is simply, I think, too much to deal with. We'll see an Selma? A wasted Selma? I guess that's what'll happen there. And it gets captured out, so this mirror window here from Jolton with the Jaeger, a Fish manning it, will remain for a little bit longer, and the hatch will begin to be opened just the same.
And now with 1:30 left in this round, we do see this similar pressure coming out from Ape. They did this last time, the Moto and the blue combination. It's been hit or miss for both of these teams doing this exact strategy, but it worked just fine for Ape last time. We're going to have Jolton on the Mira again, so they're going to be looking to identify exactly where the push is coming from, possibly get some C4s or some quick peeks as a result of those black mirrors. We do see the attacking pressure still tossing those drones in, trying to figure out exactly where these anchors are positioned and how they can deal with them. 4 attackers now stationed in bar with the blue pressure generally alleviated for now. Jolton still waiting, though, here on the church wall, assisted by this window. They know someone's dropped Moto there. Here comes that C4. It could find multiple, but it's just Call Out who takes quite a bit of damage. Peek from Yaga's unsuccessful. Fish finds another. The C4 finds 2. Call Out and Forrest hit the floor, and it's Forrest with a nade kill, but it's not enough left in that situation. It was Jay, last alive, and Jolton delivered the fatal blow. It's a beautiful performance from the Favelas once again, and they are staying alive in this one. They refuse to be beat.
Not choosing to give it up just yet. They're going to fight their hardest until the end. 6-4 right now. The next round will be a very important one. Another defense of CCTV in cash. I do not see them running that mirror strategy again. DS Lucas is yet to confirm his operator. In the last second, he will pick the smoke. Maybe a 6-pick here, but yeah, I don't see them doing that mirror window strategy. It was that one kind of pocket strat that you pull out for a best of 5 when you need to win a round and get some momentum rolling. Maybe we will see it. DS Lucas switches. Call out onto Thermite as well. Another thing to concern yourself with is we're not likely to see the Favelas pull out another freak opening kill like the Nitro cell we saw secure the kill onto Forrest. That was from Gomez. He tossed it out the con window just at the center of your screen, and it launched all the way over the little AC box and down to the garage wall where it blew Forrest to smithereens. You're not probably going to have that happen again here, and Ape are probably going to fight just a little bit harder, with the Favelas needing to try a little bit harder themselves if they want to secure that opening kill here again. And the mirror strat is back. It's not a pocket strat. This is the new Favelas hold, and that's exactly what I'm going to call it.
All right, we're going to see how this one plays out this time. You know, Ape are practice dealing with this, but I do believe that, you know, they're not going to make the same mistake. This time it's Jolton on the Jaeger rather than the Mira, and the Mira role is going to be picked up by Diaz here. So they're changing it up a little bit, and they're going to hope that that is enough to bring this back and continue that momentum. That's 6-4 right now, but they still need 2 more rounds to mount this successful comeback. But right now, they're letting Forrest do this once again. Leaving both of the Miras hard is not effective whatsoever. You need to pop one of them so you can get the quick peeks going, and he's not going to do that. Now allowing the bottom of that to be popped. All you need to do is toss a nade in there, get one of those breaching rounds or those Zofia impacts, and those mirror windows will not be having a good time. There is a wub on the other side of that wall to make it a bit more hard, but here comes the upside down Thermite Repel. He will successfully, oh no, not successfully get the wall open. We actually just lost it in the last second. Can't tell if it has been opened, but based on the drone hopping in there, I will assume that the wall has now been popped. Beastly holding his position on top red stairs, now more of a precarious one because of that crossfire now potentially established if someone hops in that flat wall. And with this open here by that hard breach gadget from Capital, the garage pressure onto rafters will be mounting as well.
Yeah, the main plat wall has got to have been open, because Callout would not have rotated here if it was still up. I think he would have tried to go for that again, and it's such a creative way that we see Ape defeat this strategy with the double mirror setup. Here we go. Maybe the Maverick gonna cross the gunfighter, or the eyesight. Jolton. Oh! So close there. Forrest just manages to escape it. Oh, the re-peek for the Maverick, and Jolton will fall. Ape take the man advantage that we talked so much about. Gomez roaming inside the bedroom, looking to collect for anything. A minute to go here, and Ape will soon likely begin their execute. You've got control of the Raptors. We'll see the Banshee cleared, and nobody on the jump-up angle as well to try and defeat Yaga as he closes in on the site. Another lifeline is used as well, an exothermic, so perhaps it looks like the plat wall was not open after all. Finally, it is open now by Callout in his use of the second exothermic, waiting to try and apply more and more pressure here as 30 seconds are yet to go. We'll see a rotate closer to the garage plat window, likely to apply some pressure onto back Zulu should anyone try to rotate and come up to disperse and slow down this attack. A nitro cell launched here by Fish. He's got to take a lot of punishment for it, but it's worth it in the end. This J will go down, and the Capital is lost. There's pressure from Zulu, though. Forrest finds Beastly, shut down by DS Lucas, melted with the refrag. Ape will win Clubhouse after a long and drawn-out 11 rounds. It's a 7-4 scoreline to get them there.
Well, you take a look at that scoreboard, you see Forrest and Callout leading their team to victory in what was a lot longer than I think Ape wanted it to be. The 6-1 split, they were really having a good time with it, but eventually the comeback started to eke its way in from the Favelas. Eventually, of course, it was Ape who took the 3. This is Cafe. We have seen Cafe, I think, more than any other map, maybe tied with Oregon for the frequency that we've seen this one tonight, or rather this whole tournament. And so I know that it's going to be an absolute showdown between these two monster rosters. To give you that recap, it's 2-1. It is Ape who have that 2-map advantage, and Favelas who did secure that 1 map of Theme Park. So that sits us at 2-1 in a best of 5. All Ape has to do is get 1 more map. They just need Cafe, and that will not only get them that $1,500 grand prize, but book them their ticket to our January invite event that is going to be super fun and full of many surprises. As we get into our ban phase in this one, Cafe, it's going to be Thatcher off the board first. That's no surprise. And our second ban, the Maverick, the Surrey Torch God, he's going to be off the table here.
Common trend we've faced in this event is when you see the Thatcher and the Maverick taken off the board, usually the Cade will go as well, because it's no fun to clear those Electro Claws without it. And as well, Wamai has been an incredibly frequent ban. I think he's probably been banned in all of the cafes, at least the big majority of them. Those Wamai magnets are such a big frustration to deal with, and nobody likes to deal with that. As well, the other defender other than the Cade that we have seen banned so commonly was the Mira. Her windows are very effective on a lot of the objectives, and in fact, she will be taken out here and now. So the Cade is left up on the board. I wonder how Ape are going to counter that in dealing with their attacks if the Electro Claws remain a constant presence.
Well, of course, the Favelas here will be starting on their defensive half, and now that we see the Mira off the board, that's not going to be a pain in the side of this Ape attack. We saw how effective, or interesting at least, the Mira strategies on Clubhouse came in with the double, now called the Favelas Mira strat on the plat wall. Was, well, an interesting one to say the least, but we're not going to have to worry about those Mira plays here on this map. Now, as we get into the round number 1, it appears that Bar and Cocktail, that's going to be the first site of choice for Favelas. And now, what's been interesting from Ape every time we've seen them come to Cafe is they have avoided Bar and Cocktail like the plague. They've stayed far away from this site, rather electing to go to both Reading and Fireplace as their tertiary bomb site, or their secondary bomb site, and their tertiary bomb site is then Mining and Fireplace. So interesting stuff coming out from Ape, but on their defensive half, the Favelas will be sticking to what they know best. They will be sticking to Bar and Cocktail.
Well, I can already tell you what we're going to be facing here from Ape in their attack plan. This will be an East Repel take. We're going to see probably Jay and Yaga go below. They're going to clear out Mining, Train, Dining, and then move into Reading to establish the vertical plan. This is what we've seen them do completely every time you see the buck on the board this past weekend. They're always wanting to get in control of this vertical play, and with the Favelas equipped with the Maestro Evil Eyes, you might as well go for it. But Jolton's on a bit of a roam. He's down here. He's looking for something. I don't know if he's going to stay in this position. You wouldn't think so. The Maestro is the one operator who is likeliest to stay on site, especially when you don't have an Echo in play. And in fact, we will see the Ape attack plan begin. They're going to move up red, taking control next of Mining. It's like we already know what they're going to do on the strategy because we've seen it so much from them before. And the Maestro, if he was down here, he's not anymore, and the drone moves ahead of them to clear out Reading. And so they'll get a solid idea of the defender's presence either on the top floor or maybe a lurker down below inside of the first. But I think they're starting to slow down just a little bit. They don't want to get ahead of themselves in this first round where the momentum is a big tell of the future momentum. They got the ping coming out. We'll see them move in. Bit of extra action. You want to go through the wall rather than the door? Okay, I'm vibing with it. And we'll see probably the Ash use her first charge to clear out C2. The Maestro, he's going to try to fight back. It does a bit of damage onto Jay. That'll probably prompt him to turn right back around and fight with him, and he'll get it. The headshot onto Jolton, the opening frag, and the Maestro will fall as Jay gets an early success.
Well, we're seeing here the Ape typical East take strategy coming out with the vertical play and Cocktail first, eventually followed by those window repels. But Gomez gets in a Reading room uninterrupted, and he will take down Jay the Buck off the table now. And now equalized to a 4v4 after a beautiful flank from Gomez. Yaga equalizes though, or rather responds. He'll take down Fish, the aggressing Jaeger. will be removed. So Gomez now still positioned on the white stairs, still an ever-present threat that Ape are going to need to be aware of. It appears that the drone from Callout will actually miss Gomez for now. And Yaga still below in pillars, waiting for the opportunity to pinch onto this site. We're actually seeing a little bit of a mixed bag here from Ape. They haven't fully committed to one take or the other. Forrest is now over here on this eastern balcony and eventually will be joined by Yaga. So now it appears that this eastern push is coming through, but they're going to have to contend with not only Diaz here, he's going to be on the top of this hatch. They're going to have to deal with a Goyo who's working his way on the top of white stairs. The Toxic Babes go out, and Callout's going to get really whittled down to low HP. The plant denied for the time being, while the Toxic Babes go do what they do best, and that is delay. The Callout will be finished by another Toxic Babe, but Melted will take down the Goyo of Gomez. 2 players left on this defense. The flashes come in, almost hitting one player in the head. That's going to be Diaz, but here comes a swing in, and the double swing will prove victorious. Diaz falls along with Beastly and Ape on the attack. They take round number 1.
What a stellar flashbang lands right at the feet of the Melusi. You can't turn around and look away from that, and because of it, the Melusi immediately softened up. The cocktail control falls. The rappel in collects for the final 2 kills. Round number 1, a stellar victory from Ape. Their East Rappel White Stairs vertical reading take is just undefeated in the way that they play it, even despite us seeing an attempt at a retake and Gomez moving very aggressively to shut down the already weakened Jay, who fought hard in the early opening engagement with Jolton. Losing the Maestro early is a huge penalty, not having the Alda and the Evil Eyes to fight with, just the Evil Eyes remaining in whatever their final position was, but the Alda, I think, is the more of the ferocious losses. Losing the 81 bullets, such a hard-hitting gun, it shoots so fast, and on this top floor hold, being able to pre-fire windows could not be more valuable with the way that Ape chose to attack it. I think if Jolton manages to survive in this round, it will be a big tell, but what I'm more curious in is, does Ape repeat and go for the same strategy, or do they switch up their attack execute and instead focus on taking control of Cigar Lounge? I don't think it would have made a whole lot of sense for them to try and repeat, go to the same attack strategy and do the same thing over again, especially when the Favelas have already moved fast to try and counter it, with seeing Gomez in that previous round try to go below. That being said, the Favelas are not going to change their defensive strategy much, still opting to include the Pixel, Shield, and ADS hold.
Well, this hold here is now going to be in that same position, still working in bar and cocktail now, and we are going to have to see exactly if Ape are going to bring the same pressure to the game, or if they're going to go with something different, maybe go for the stereotypical piano take rather than this east side take. But this east side take, it works so well for them. It's worked almost flawlessly in every round they've attempted it, both in this match and others, and they really have mastered that take, at least coming, combining the vertical play from reading room with that swing in from the rappel, maybe some pressure into heaven, combined with some skylight action. It works really well for them, and they really have mastered it, to say the least. But it's likely we're going to see a little bit of a change. They are, after all, the jack of all trades. They really know how to bring the pressure onto this bar and cocktail site. Of course, that's going to be easier said than done. Forrest gets in an early engagement with Fish, who just swung the window. Not sure if it was intentionally taking the gunfight there, but it appears that Forrest got taken down to very low HP, but he was the one who prevailed in that gunfight. Fish, the first pick in both of these maps, or well, rather, second pick in that first round. And either way, it's a very big impact frag to have an impact player like Fish on an impact fragger like the Jaeger off so early.
Yeah, losing Fish is no fun, especially with his consistent performances on all maps throughout day 1 and 2 of this tournament. A drone moves in, that's cleared quickly by Beastly, who has more than proven his performance in this position. It's an aggressive jump out, no claymore or air jab to cover it, and because of that, DS Lucas finds the frag onto the already weakened Forrest that we discussed. Having taken a big risk in his earlier fight with Fish, he understood the fact that he would be likely, as a result, on low HP, HP for the full duration of that round. And as you would say, there ain't no doc on the attack. There is a doc on the defense, so perhaps my brain is starting to wear low here. But yeah, Forrest is not in fighting shape. Even if he was at 100 health, I think the MPX still likely to win there, with DS Lucas completely catching the Zofia by surprise. And for a second one as well, Lucas gets a kill on to call out, and so the Hibana is lost. And now the man advantage in the favor of the Favelas for once. That's another frag coming out for them. Jolton finds Yaga. Jay taking a quick breath of the toxic gas as he moves in from cart. Looks to spot the Maestro. Almost hits it on the pre-fire through the wall, and the spam shots failing to connect just yet. We'll see the rotate through as Gomez comes into the bomb site and jumps into Freezer. Melted onto DS Lucas, but it's Jolton who closes out round 2. It's a Favelas win.
Well, I usually don't say that the same thing will work twice, but in the case of Ape, changing it up has rarely worked for them on Cafe. Changing it from the cocktail take over to the piano side take has not borne much fruit for their attack. We just saw it go quite horribly for them when they tried to change it up a bit. It seems that their vertical play from cocktail and the pressure from that side is what they've got down pat, and they really do not have the full grasp of what it takes to take that piano side, especially because we see the defense is always aware that the piano side is going to be a big focus, and so they devote so much utility over to that side. So equalizing us at 1-1 after that great defensive performance from the Favelas. Now we're going to be heading to our secondary bomb site, and we're going to head down 2 floors all the way to the first one to see the kitchen site in play. This is the first time we're going to see the Vigil now. We did see it earlier from Fish getting extremely aggressive in our earlier winners bracket finals matchup, where the Favelas also took Ape to this map. But Fish is once again on that Vigil, likely to get aggressive, joined by Diaz on that Jaeger. They've been this dynamic, aggressive duo who've really been the thorn in the side of this Ape attack all night.
10 seconds to go.
Well, here we go to the kitchen defense now. We'll see the Favelas try to play that slowdown strategy with Fish again on his Vigil roam. Just quickly want to give us a bit of an anecdote here. The Favelas and Ape are very well acquainted on this map, as I'm sure you'll know, and Oregon is the same way. I think it ended. Yeah, no, that was the game, that was the map earlier, the one that caused so much controversy. It was the 7-8 victory on this map, so it had to battle through for every single round. Oh, Jay, better not get in the way. Up close and personal with the Mark 14. That thing hits like a truck, and you don't want to test your luck in that engagement. We'll see Melted rotate around, and lucky that the TK and the team damage does not come through. We'll see Fish still on the hide, and Melted playing the Dokkaebi, not an operator who I think has had the most presence so far this tournament, but perhaps in combination with the Jackal track of Jay, that will be able to clear out the roamers quite effectively. And Ape have got the right idea here. Fish overexposes himself. He looks the wrong way, and Forrest gets the opener. This is the full ranked lineup. You got the G8A1 as well in tandem with just one hard breacher, and it's the ranked player's wet dream essentially here for Ape. You got the AK-12, all the good guns across the attacker lineup.
Well, that was a beautiful roam clear. The Dokkaebi and the Jackal both just annoying Fish until he found his grave. That is one way you could put it. With now only 3 players up on the Favelas, it's going to be up to both Gomez, Beastly, and Jolton to do the rest of the work. Beastly delivers 1 kill despite being tracked by the Jackal. Here comes a Jackal around the corner. C4 to try to find it, but the Jackal has ample time to back off. Now Beastly pressure from all sides. Here comes the swing, and Jay will prevail. So now it's a 2v4. Little pressure here coming on the red stairs from Gomez, and Jolton as well now has fallen back. The C4 connects with the feet of Melted, and Melted, well, going to get melted down by that C4 and fall to the ground. Not going to be taken down or confirmed, so that should be able to be revived, and Melted will indeed be picked up and return to 20 HP to get back in the fight. Gomez is getting very aggressive here on the red stairs, not playing on site whatsoever, nor is Jolton, who's positioned over in Code. Now Gomez sneaking up the stairs just a little bit, trying to catch his attackers unaware, but they are very aware. The drone gonna spot him out. The shots come in, but Gomez gets the shot. SMG-11 prevails, and the defenders just walk up the red stairs into the crossfire established by APE. And APE will take the round in a brilliant fashion, giving them their second round on Cafe.
Who needs to execute onto the first floor? Let's just end it up on the second inside of the mining hallway, and that's how APE will get it done. A stellar opening kill now, as we've seen Forrest fell fish on both of the previous two, and that's a great way to get some momentum building if you're on APE. Reading room and fireplace is up next. We won't yet see the mining defense that APE has largely made their home, just maybe in their second split. We'll see Melted off of the Dokkaebi, instead favoring the Nomad, and Beastly makes a quick change of his own, going onto the pulse from the Maestro. And maybe this is to try to confuse them, make them think we're going back up to the bar, but the bar wouldn't be available, so that line of thinking doesn't exactly check out on my end. I think the Favelas have got a good chance to take this round. It's a subject of disagreement. What's the best site on Cafe? The third floor is well understood by a lot of teams, and APE have certainly got a good understanding, but I think the reading room honestly has a solid shake and a good chance between itself and that top floor bar site.
I'll agree with you there that reading room has been creeping into the meta a little bit, and one thing I like to point out with reading room, as well as many tertiary bomb sites, is I feel that at least the way the meta stands right now is tertiary bomb sites are often the most overlooked, undervalued bomb sites in the game, and that's not always because they're simply the bad bomb site. Well, some of them just require more coordination and more teamwork going from your stack to get a good defense going. On a site like Reading Room that requires a vertical extension, a non-optional vertical extension, because those vertical angles are so important, it does require a lot of work from your team. And some teams are more suited for it than others, and a team like the Favelas, they certainly have it, have that coordination and have the ability to do just fine on this site. And the reason that these tertiary bombs can also be so strong is because attacking teams are less, they don't know as much about how to attack these tertiary bomb sites. Usually it just falls into their lap because the defenders can struggle with it. But that's exactly why a perfect coordinated vertical hold on Reading Room can be just too much for the attackers to handle. But we've seen how well APE get these vertical extensions, well, the vertical takes rather, going on this Reading Room. So this one could really go either way. We see a ton of utility devoted to that top floor. Jackal tracks go out to at least identify the presence of the defenders upstairs. You're going to have to do more than identify them. You're going to have to get up there and take them out to get this going.
Yeah, what does it count if you know the position of the defender if you don't do something about it? There's a saying that intel is only good for 5 seconds, and that's definitely a truth with the fast-paced nature that Favelas like to play at. They're constantly on the move, on the roam, and looking to make a flank happen. I don't think that's really a possibility here. Going up red, you'll be met stiffly by an air jab. The prone angle from Gomez looking to deal a bit of hurt onto one of the players inside of Train. You've also got a drone, but the black guy spots the drone, so it's intel v intel here. Gomez, I think, just takes it out as it tries to move into reading. The failure to clear the vertical play. This is another slow attack from APE. They're going to have a real tough time executing here if they don't find a man advantage to bolster themselves with. Frag grenade, or rather smoke, in the hands of Callout. They've got a really strong hold here, and I wonder if they're going to try to fake this out and rush into reading. Maybe fake them into believing that this is an A-site hold. It looks like there's a bit of a traffic jam between one of the two players inside of the red hull. Gomez goes deep. He goes down. It'll be Forrest, though, the person who falls, and more damage dealt on the pre-fire. Beastly kills Jay. It's a 2-man-up scenario. It's just Callout to find Beastly now. Callout himself, though, is not long for this world as Jolton collects that kill. A 2v4 as the attack has fallen to shambles. Gomez still down on the floor, yet to be picked up, and in this war currently ongoing between the attackers and defenders, I don't think he is going to be back in the fight anytime soon. Fish finds Yaga, but never mind that now. Gomez is back up. They understand that Melted is still out the snow door here, waiting near pillar, and he doesn't have much of an opportunity to get things done with the diffuser out of his hands. He gets a first kill on the Fish, make that a second with the pistol, but still APE failed to secure the round. This is Favelas with number 4.
Well, the favelas, well, they answered back in a big way just to that same aggression we've seen from Ape. So it looks like this one could very well go all the way. At least on this first half, it's remaining absolutely a dead heat between these two stacked teams. It's 2-2 now after that successful reading room defense. And that round was really quite simple. I think Ape, they got a bit ahead of themselves. They really got a traffic jam, like you mentioned there, Stickula. I think they got all stuck up in Red Hall, and they really couldn't do much. They went into that fatal funnel. There was a 3-way crossfire on that hallway, and Ape willingly walked into it. One smoke blocking off one of the angles was simply not enough to prevent them from falling into their early grave. So it's a good defense from Favelas, but I think Ape kind of brought that upon themselves by walking into that unfortunate situation. That does mean Reading Room will now be locked off, and we'll be heading back up to Bar and Cocktail. Last time we were here, it was the Favelas who took the win, but the time before that, it was Ape who got the better of them. And the first round, it was that Cocktail side take, that take on Heaven, the take vertically from below in Reading Room, that was really the big thing that Ape excelled at and brought to the table. On the time that they tried to change it up, do your typical piano take, clearing out Pixel and working your way up white, the Favelas shut that down with, quite a bit of pressure there. So now we're gonna see if Ape try to do the same thing or if they're gonna go back to what they know, back to that Cocktail side take, but no doubt the Favelas are gonna be ready for whatever Ape chooses to bring.
DS Lucas, I think he's got a cam just outside, and he's holding aggressive at the window, and, well, I think you've got your answer, Jonah, with the push coming in from the bottom of the red stairs. Yaga will move forward. Do we have anybody stationed down here? No, it doesn't look like the Favelas are really ready to make that investment, and you're probably likely to meet your end with how well rehearsed this Ape attack is. They know exactly what they want to do. The drones are perfectly on time every single attempt, and it looks like this round will be no exception. Moving in, the Claymore, I think Forrest thought he might have breaching charges there. The Buck will likely be the one who opens it up, but a pre-fire from the red stairs, or rather white, will deal a bit of damage onto Jay. DS Lucas continues to get off and on this black eye camera. I think he wants to go aggressive as we saw him do, and he got a frag on a Forrest on one of those third floor defenses, but it's a risky play to make, and it might not always find you some success. Jolton is rather not gonna play inside a Maestro spot this round. Instead, he'll rotate into Humidor. I think this is the Favelas realizing now that control of Cigar is not something that Ape really concern themselves too much with. And it's a good adaptation to decide now that rather play inside Cocktail, an area that we know Ape is going to go below of, will play deeper over towards the west side of the map. And that's exactly, I think, the conclusion that they have reached.
Well, that conclusion is definitely gone down here, but this pressure from the attack has not. It's already a minute 10 left in the round, and no picks are on the board simply because, like you said, the beautiful adaptation from the Favelas is not presenting those vertical play picks that Ape clearly wants to get. Now, Forrest is forced to try to find some traction here by going on this rappel here on the Cocktail side. Now it appears that the attackers may be looking to just send it up white stairs or find some way to get this push going. But what the Favelas are doing here right now is simply playing extremely passive, and it's working out really well. This passive play from the Favelas is not a common strategy we see from them, and as such it can be so effective because they're changing it up. But what's also being changed up here is that Melted and Jay are both coming in from the other side, working their way in from red. Melted found one, but Fish will deliver the blow onto Jay before that could happen, but look what we've got here. The attackers are now up into heaven. Callout finds one, Gomez hits the deck, and now the plant will as well. Lucas is trying to make this happen here, but the crossfire from the window is going to make that nearly impossible. Beastly gets taken down by Forrest, but not before he could get a kill onto Callout. Get the charge in. Oh, Diaz finds one. He finds two. Yaga hits the floor. It's going to be all up to Melted. He'll get one with the pistol. He's got one more to find, but it's Diaz who's just too much. And Melted not able to deliver the clutch. The Favelas with round number 5.
Even despite Jolton's new home inside of a Cigar Humidor, he still falls to Melted. They moved to try to get a rotate there for Ape because they understood, I think, that Favelas had sussed them out in that they were going to continue trying to go for that same push. Unfortunately, though, I think Ape got a little bit too messy near the end. They held the man advantage, but it was by such a slim margin that their plant was denied once by Beastly, and then the second time, I didn't exactly catch that, but it got denied both times, and because of that, the round fell out of their hands. We saw Melted was fast. He got his double kill, but could not make it for the third as he rounded the corner with pistol in hand for the final player inside Cocktail. And Kitchen Service is up next after that suffering defeat. The Favelas have secured 2 in a row, but this looks like another slugfest scenario where the game fights back and forth as APE struggle to secure a round in these next 2, or rather these previous 2, and they're likely to get this one here with how large of an understanding and how dominant their previous performance was. They've been very consistent to go for the full roam clear, top down, to rotate through and complete the assault. The last round we saw, I think somebody in chat described it as you can't do anything with the vertical play if we're not in the objective, so you just rotate up and, you know, what does it matter that they're sledging up from the floor? We're not on that same floor, the same level. We'll just go upstairs. Unfortunately, I like the thought, and it's pretty funny comment. For the Favelas, though, it wasn't too funny, and they lost their round, so the line of thinking, the logic there does not check out into a success for the Favelas. We'll see APE approach the building and go for a bit of an early pre-fire there. That's Yaga shooting open part of the restaurant window as they approach the rest of the building.
Well, I do want to highlight that last round quickly and really just say that both of those teams played that nearly perfectly. They played it incredibly well. We saw the Favelas make that adaptation playing over on Top Red and in Cigar, but APE, they also made the necessary pivot to counter the counter to their strategy. Honestly, that's really, really good siege we're seeing here. I mean, the way the round played out, I mean, obviously, they always come down to that 20-second push, and it was the Favelas who prevailed when it all came down to that chaos and the toxic babes and everything was going down all at once, and it was the Favelas who obviously emerged victorious. But really brilliant siege we've seen from both of these teams in these last few rounds. They really are ignoring the fact that they're all exhausted from a long day of siege, and they're really here to play in a big way. But now the focus is going to be on the kitchen site, and the top down clear, the vertical play is coming out from APE. We do see here that's Forrest working on that Zofia again, getting on that fragger roll and trying to open up the floor with those breaching charges. We're also going to have quite a bit of soft destruction in the hands of Ash as well. Those breaching rounds will assist. And the hard breach from Callout is going to be the only hard breach on the table. Ooh, look at this camera. That's a brilliant line of sight onto mining, and that's going to allow the C4s to potentially rain from below. We do have only 2 C4s in hand, and one from Gomez has already been spent, or at least pre-prepped. Now Fish will go for one as well. The C4 on the top of that prepped roof, looking to find any kills before the attackers can find some kills of their own. All 10 members still on the board as the time continues to whittle away in round number 6. But APE are looking to mount some continuous pressure. It appears that Callout's going to have to burn a couple of his Selma charges just to get in the garage to get a line of sight onto the freezer.
This is really coming down to the wire. It looks like Fish. He wants his nitro back. He's going to have to shoot open a lot of the floor. He just gives up. Nope, you're not getting that one back, Fish. He calls a friend, and it detonates. Still no man advantage. The Favelas. APE are going to have such a hard time when they execute here, but they have a little bit of a comfort now that Jay has felled Gomez. Jolton rotates in, but it's a little bit too late to deny this push. Forrest finds Jolton himself, and now Fish dead at the hands of Jay. It's melted onto Beastly, a 5v1. What has happened in a matter of seconds as DS Lucas has to come up huge on the clutch. This is looking like a cafe flawless round if I've ever seen one. Playing safe in the diffuser, Forrest confirms it. APE. Round number 6 goes their way and in a flawless fashion.
Oh my goodness. These teams are trading incredible rounds back and forth. I really do think that we're going to take this one all the way. Favelas may even send this one to our final map of the night. And while that is going to be a long night for both of these teams, it sure is going to be exciting to see. I mean, this siege is just getting better and better rather than corroding in front of our very eyes. It's actually just improving, which is simply just incredible to say the least. We just saw one of the most beautiful 30-second, 20-second executes that we've seen all day. APE had no traction going into the clock whittling down to 30 seconds left. The first pick from Jay, and at that point, they flipped the switch and they steamrolled into sight. And it worked out just simply pure and perfect. They took out player after player, they fragged out, and it resulted in a perfect, flawless round. They got the swings together, they made sure the planter was covered. It just worked out beautifully. Getting our beautiful camera work that our observer Ty is bringing us here today. Really, it was beautiful to watch such good siege unfold. So you love to see it go so well in moments like that, but then of course, there are other moments where it doesn't go so well. But right now it's Cafe, and it's looking just clean. In round number 7 now, on our second split, it is the Favelas on attack and Ape on defense. Now, we've really seen a balance on Cafe. This has really gone 50-50 in all between these teams all day, including in our earlier best of 3 match. So now our eyes are going to be on how this Ape defense is going to hold down Kitchen, and it looks like we do have Forest here holding up this hotly contested bakery position.
Somebody's got to make the first move in this round and in this second half. It's, frankly, anyone's game now, as you said it. An even half, I expect the second to go just the same way, unless one team, runs out of steam here. It'd probably likely be the Favelas, but they haven't shown any sign of it yet, so we'll wait until we do see that. Forest is Ronan, he's crawling back and forth between the bakery bar. He got that drone, but the vertical angle on this reverse rappel outside the bakery double door is something we haven't seen yet. Nobody throughout this tournament, I can say that with confidence, has tried to go for this, and maybe Jolton will luck out and get Forest early here. This reminds me of the Favelas round where we saw them apply a ton of pressure before that rehost way earlier in the day for our Cafe match between these same two teams during the winners bracket finals. Looks like Jolton doesn't get much success, so he rotates off. Jay has decided to put a shield inside a VIP, so there's an extension way over there. The Favelas, I don't think, really firing many shots so far, none that I've heard. Melton will rotate now. One Ash breaching round, looks like it detonates, opening up potential for some vertical play. We've consistently seen this angle above the double door whiskey bar area open so that you can lock off the rotate, and it surely helped Ape in their previous execute, making sure that it was well understood where that final defender of DS Lucas was in that previous round. But at minute and 10, it's time to get into the real meat of the action. It's the Ash, or rather Zoe, who fells Forest first.
Well, after that first pick now, it's the Favelas on the offensive. It's not only on the attack, but they have that advantage now. Melted, hanging out over, takes a few shots right now. Those frost mats yet to come into effect in this round like they did in our earlier best of 3 matchup. Melted going to get taken down. Gomez delivering the blow from the red stairs. Brilliant shot there. Call out on the flank, working their way all the way up to get this vertical pressure going. Tries to find anything but shut down by Gomez. Brilliant work from the sledge to go rotate to help the supporting teammate opening up that vertical play. So it's all up to Jay and it's all up to Yaga. Not looking too good. The great shots coming out from Gomez, delivering his triple kill and taking down Jay. Yaga finds one with the Yalda, but he's got to do 4 more kills. And that's not going to happen. Fish delivers the blow, and Yaga hits the floor, with the Favelas taking round number 7.
Well, here we go from them. The Favelas will separate themselves from Ape by a 1-point differential, so it's not too far out ahead of the Ape defense. It was a really good grenade combo we saw there for Gomez. I think he was the one who tossed the frag and then immediately rushed up with the SMG-11, leaving no option for that player holding close at the wall. Reading room will be the next destination for Ape after their failure in the kitchen. And after this, I assume we'll probably have the rotation of the 3rd floor, and then maybe even after that, if we get there, the mining defense, which is Ape's really one kind of stuck out strategy here for the defense. They've got that vertical play east rappel strat on the attack, and then their other fun strategy on this map is that mining hold that we see them employ, which is actually a really sound defense in the way that they use it, expanding and extending inside of reading with pressure inside a pillar and a reinforcement on the mining hall wall. You might see Yaga do the same thing. He doesn't drop the reinforcement, but he opens the rotate at the same spot where you would normally see Ape set that up at. Call Out will move over here as well, and he will drop the reinforcement. So it is a pretty standard, pretty similar, rather, setup. A lot of similarities between the two defenses that they run on the middle floor objective.
5 seconds left.
But before we get to have some fun and see the mining hold, APE have to win these next 2 rounds, which is by no means a guarantee after Favela found that initial success we just got done commentating on the kitchen objective. APE have got some serious work to do here. The Favelas need to be responded to, and a reply is sure to be the plan for APE, but is it successful? That's the question we've got to answer, Jonah.
Well, that is exactly what we have to answer here. Call Out taking quite a bit of damage, as will Forrest early on. The picks coming out in favor of the Favelas, just getting some early sprays on through to the site and landing a few pot shots that are, well, at least effective at getting them down just a little bit HP. The Wub in front of our very eyes going to get taken out by that Ash breaching round, and that'll deliver the suppressing power of the Banshee to its own little itty bitty grave now. Melted on the top of White Stairs by Planks, also waiting for this opportunity to hold off this vertical play. But right now, the Favelas seem to be waiting to contest this. Maybe this is more what we've seen from the Favelas, that simple take towards Red Stairs. Just focus all that energy on the Red Stairs, take through mining, and work your way in the Red Hall from there. Right now, they're just getting their way into the building. The drone work supporting. Forrest opens us up. Jolton hits the deck, and that was a 5v4 in favor of APE. Fish sneaking the way up all the way towards Cocktail, looking for some traction to find, but he looks away at the wrong moment, and Forrest finds the headshot. Beastly trades that out, but so will Yaga. Beastly will be finding the early grave as well, so a 2v4 in the favor of APE once again. Oh my goodness, these rounds are going back and forth and back and forth. It's 3-4, but it's looking to equalize at 4 once again in round number 8. Diaz here trying to find any frags he can, but the shots, where did those even come from? It's going to be Call Out finding one, and DS Lucas will successfully trade that one out onto the aggressing Malusi, but it's going to be a 1v3, a nearly impossible situation. Not fully out of the question yet. We know how strong DS can be. Very strong player for sure, especially with that AK-74 in hand, but it's not going to be an easy work to do.
He'll finally drop, 50 seconds to go, and rotates into the building, or rather the objective. At least he's waiting to try and do so, but one of the players of APE is coming up on the roam, and so if Favela's final attacker, DS Lucas, still lingers around this door and fails to push in, he'll likely meet the Valkyrie, but actually Melted's got a different idea. He'll play vertically through the holes that his own enemy team established, and it's Yaga to peek up quickly now as he will eliminate that final attacker, and it's APE to battle it back. Just as you said, we're keeping this one nice and even at 4v4, and it's likely to probably progress the same way until we hit that overtime, but I'm glad to see that APE, despite their failure to secure that kitchen defense, still make it work. We'll see that kitchen come up once again. This time, though, it'll be APE to bring out the clash. I believe we saw this earlier from, it was on Oregon, so I imagine that was the, Favelas versus Gatekeepers. You know what I'm talking about, Jonah? Can you help me out here?
Yeah,
I know we saw a
I got what you're
clash.
saying.
But
yeah, we did see a clash once. I think it was on the dining room site. Yeah, you're right. It was on the dining room site on the tertiary site of Oregon. The clash played on the door facing the small tower. But this time Melted's gonna 6-pick off, obviously, go to the cap can. The pick that, I mean, Melted has really been the guy to switch it up here on Cafe. We've seen the cap can, we've seen the frost, and now we're back to the cap can once again from Melted. And of course, those cap can traps are effective at, you know, putting a little bit of damage into those aggressing attackers as they enter the building. Hasn't really gained a lot of traction so far tonight, nor have those frost mats, but I guess, you know, you have one cap can trap kill or one frost mat kill per match or per day, and that's enough to motivate you to continue to play those operators, especially if they have a good amount of utilities to support them. You know, you have the nitro cell from the cap cannon, you have, you know, that shotgun to open up rotates from the frost. So all of these are viable picks. You know, interesting to see it. It's definitely the off-meta choice, but it's no doubt an interesting one. But here we are paying attention to round number 9, and the Favelas look like they're mounting their kitchen force, a force that usually just likes to steamroll its way into bakery, and it looks like they're prepping to do that once again.
Some explosives will detonate, and this push from the favelas mounts further. But Ape are going about this in a way that I much prefer, honestly, rather than hold inside Bakery Bar, which throughout a lot of their cafes has resulted in Forrest's death. He kind of is sacrificed there. You waste time, Forrest, and then, you know, if you get back to site, that's just a little bit extra from what we expect for you. Gomez is going to open up the hatches up in the roof. I was going to say that it was late, but I think that's just the fact that Favelas have moved so fast in taking control. Oh no, here it goes. Call out 1-for-1. He finds DS Lucas, but Fish, oh, it's the cap can trap, and Forrest guns down one player below. He'll rotate deeper inside of the coat shack, but the EDDs, they've gotten their prize. A ton of damage done onto the star fragger of Fish.
Well, that's quite a bit of help now as the attack starts to bear its weight over towards the site itself, because now Fish, your big fragger, although not particularly on this map with Diaz taking up the helm, it is quite nice to have the top fragger down very low HP, especially on an Ashe who can be so elusive with that tiny little hitbox darting in and out of that site. But now with about a minute 15 to go, we're going to see this attack start to shift its mind over to that execute and getting some more picks onto the site itself. Now that they've cleared out those roamers elsewhere, the site is now where the attention goes. Gomez has already begun Swiss cheesing that floor and will now start Swiss cheesing the wall a little bit, trying to get some lines of sight over into the deep kitchen, trying to spot out Jay from this service position. Jay will now look towards the hatch, aware that there could be some pressure from there. The one tap from Yaga onto the head of Gomez with the FMG9. Incredible stuff there from the smoke. What a shot. And now it's going to be a 2v4 with Fish already low HP and Beastly to support him. Forrest with a double kill will drop the already diminishing HP Fish. And now it's going to be all up to Beastly. The ace, he's already used those Selma charges, fully expended. He's got the diffuser in his pocket, but it's going to be an impossible task, nearly at least, to get this one going. He has to find 4, and with 15 seconds left, that's unlikely going to happen. He's got one headshot, though. That was a brilliant shot. At least get that clip. But Jay will deliver the final blow with the SMG-11, and that's going to be enough for Ape to take another round in a row.
Round from them, and defeating the odds, Ape managed to take 2 in a row after that fun reading defense from them. It's Bar up next for Ape, trying to get somewhat of a flawless rotation going, and it might be possible. Bar is a site that has had mixed reviews, I think, for Ape and their performance so far. Beastly, it almost always feels like he can make a clutch happen. We saw during the winners bracket finals earlier on Cafe, he hit some nutty shots. Sometimes it was a 2v3 and he would just make it work with the frags that he would get. A 1v4 though is an entirely different beast, especially with the fact that Ape don't give him the 1v1 gunfights. If there's anything you're trying to learn as a comp player coming in on a new team, is that if you struggle a lot of times and you're having, you know, a hero player on the enemy team in scrims or in Little League tournaments that's really having a lot of success against you, you need to coordinate with your team to equip yourselves with crossfires. You don't want to give that star player the opportunity to fight one player and then turn around and transition into fighting another. You want to guarantee that at least you will refrag out your teammate's death. Never giving those 1v1 engagements in the clutch is one of the core truths of Siege.
Yes, it is. And now in round number 10 with Ape 5-4, they've got that advantage. They're going to be looking to further that and extend their lead. We're headed to Bar and Cocktail, the site that Ape seem to hate to go to defend. They like to avoid this one, usually preferring to go to mining, but for the first time today, I think we are going to see him head towards the top floor. Now with this attacking pressure, likely to go for the typical piano stuff. This is what the favelas typically like to do. It's now on Ape to figure out exactly what the pressure is going to be and how they can stop it. We've seen them attack this site well. The question is, can they defend it just the same? And now, after some back and forth attacking rounds on this site, the favelas are looking to emulate some of that mid-round defensive success they had here. Take a look at our scoreboard right now. We just want to highlight how Forrest has been playing really 11-7, really putting up some numbers as it's melted. Melted just not getting refragged, staying alive in those last few seconds. 9 and 3 on the side of the Favelas. Everyone carrying the load equally, trying to help out their big fraggers of Diaz and Fish to make sure that they don't have to take the brunt of the work like they have so far today. Now the flash jump starting to come in, starting to pressure out this pixel position, and because of that, well, my ban, that's going to be a lot easier than usual.
Jay's looking to put a stop to that with the shielded position we often see. I'm not sure which of the pro teams originally came up with the 3 shield strategy we see being somewhat employed here. I want to say it was DZ, but that doesn't matter. What does is the pressure being applied by the reverse repel. It's a difficult shot to hit, but I think if you get it just right in terms of the trajectory and the angle, you can shoot the top of the head of a player holding behind that shield we see Jay just next to. And if that doesn't work, I've got another thing that you can do. It's called going below with an Ash charge and detonating that Vulcan shield. You can see the floor below Jay currently is soft, but with Yaga on the prowl, that will be difficult to get done. Beastly taken below 50 as the Favelas mount their attack. 45 seconds to go. They're going to have to get the play made. We'll see one lifeline opens up the wall, softening up the Valkyrie. Wow, what a quick reaction shot there from Gomez. Beastly has already died with Fish down and Jolton dead as well. It doesn't look like there's much of a route back into this one, and if it is, it's all quiet so far. Fish is back up and in play. Melted gets DS Lucas, so a 2v3, something the Favelas have had a lot of success in. The pre-fire, though, and the Sledge will win it. It's Gomez for a second. Fish and Gomez, though, the Sledge and Ash both on low HP versus the fully healed up Ape defenders. They've had their checkups, and Yaga guns down Gomez for a second as Forrest combos onto Fish. 3 rounds in a row. It's a flawless rotation for the Ape defense.
Well, the Ape defense have really found their stride in that round. It would have been an incredible comeback from the Favelas. It looked like it was nearly possible after Gomez found the fatal blow onto the Valkyrie, but no, it was finally delivered, and it was Ape emerging on the top of the hill. And you know what that means, Sticula? Looks like we're at match point, map point, and championship point. If Ape are able to take this victory, they will not only get themselves that $1,500 grand prize, but book their ticket to our January invite event full of lots of fun surprises and a $10,000 minimum prize pool. Definitely looking to get there. That is the big prize of the night, but the Favelas are not done. We've seen them mount the comeback even on Clubhouse when they were down 6-1. They proceeded to take 3 rounds in a row and inch their way back. Question is, can they do it now? This is the same position they were in against Gatekeepers, and they stormed back, took it to overtime, and they decisively won it in overtime. So we know the Favelas can do it, but can they do it on attack on Cafe, a site that Ape clearly have down on this defensive half? Well, only time will tell, and we're going to have to see as round number 11 just begins to get underway.
This is the big one that matters. As you mentioned, Favelas, they had that dream of a comeback against the team who looked like they were primed and ready to slaughter them. What sent them into that clutch, as you'll remember, was a very confident confident assault. It was a super effective attack. They only lost 1 player back on Oregon, and it was very dramatic, to say the least, in that round. The Favelas could get it done. It needs to be sparked, though, by something. Perhaps that is Fish bringing the Amaru and looking to go for an aggressive jump-in. But perhaps what he really is bringing the Amaru for is to fly up a hatch. With the G8A1, you can really get anything done as soon as you approach the bomb site, and so that is the worry here. It'll be the opener as Jolton finds Yaga. The Legion prowling around at the brown stairs is punished for his transgressions, and now a 4v5 with the Favelas taking the lead. It's Forrest, though, as he counters Gomez, trying to rotate up from the garage hallway, and the Sledge will fall. White stairs still under the thumb of the Ape defense.
Now under the 2-minute mark, equal men count at 4 versus 4. Ape did a brilliant job of answering back to the opening frag, going on the poor Legion of Iaga. Now Call Out is still positioned upstairs. They still definitely have control of this top floor, staving off this vertical attack that the Favelas are surely going to bring out shortly. But right now, the Favelas still haven't exactly decided where that pressure is going to come from. We've seen them do that bottom of red stairs take. They push it straight into pillars and forgo Cocktail completely. But we're going to have to see exactly what they choose to do on match point. Jolton now looking through Fireplace Hall already. They could potentially go for a cheeky little quick execute here if the Ape defense is not quite careful, but thankfully Forrest, he's got this line of sight all the way from White Stairs over to that fireplace entrance. So that's going to seal off that doorway for now, preventing Jolton from sneaking on in there. But our other attackers continue to mount the pressure. Jolton dares to swing that angle, and Forrest will punish him for it. Not fully, though. 25 HP remaining on the Zofia. The wallbang goes down, and Jolton hits the floor. Should be in a revivable position, though, as Giaz comes from behind. Takes down Forrest, looks for a second, but denied. Melted finds one, Melted finds two, the headshot. The 3v2, it's denied by Beastly. Melted hits the deck, and now it's a 2v2 with 30 seconds to go. Still match point here on the line as Call Out sneaks up. Red Hall finds the side of Jolton, hits him to the floor, and it's going to be all up to Beastly, the ace, with the diffuser in his arm. 7 and 8 so far today, looking to do some work with the AK-12. 2x scope, looking down the sight, trying to find this Malusi, but Call Out proves to be too evasive. The time is whittling away. Here comes the swing. He'll find one, but it's Jay on the swing, and there it goes. Game point. The GGs come out, and Ape will take the win.
No additional map. They'll win it with just the 3-1 scoreline. Ape, a dominant performance, not the overtime cafe game perhaps we were expecting after the Favelas' performance earlier in the day. They can take it in regulation and go home knowing that they are the champions of the Nerd Street Gamers Cyber